Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Generational versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call for your free weight loss consultation. 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, May 28th. Your top story, allowing the president's order to limit mail-in voting.
I'm Jessica Ty. A former Dane County judge requests anti-weaponization funds.
Mostly sunny today, 72 the high inland, 64 near the lake. Clear tonight and a low of 49. 63 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12 o'clock. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, a federal judge overnight rejecting an attempt by Democrats to block President Trump's executive order restricting mail-in voting. ABC's Chuck Sievertson.
Trump's order directs the Postal Service to only provide mail-in ballots to voters on an approved list. But Judge Carl Nichols ruled that the lawsuit was premature because the government has not yet taken steps to implement the order, and therefore plaintiffs have not suffered any harm at present. Democratic leadership, the NAACP, and LULAC, the League of United Latin American Citizens, were suing.
The Constitution gives the power to select election rules to the states and Congress, but not the president.
The Justice Department opens an investigation into whether longtime advice columnist E. Jean Carroll lied during the civil litigation against President Trump. Carroll says the president sexually assaulted her in a New York department store 30 years ago. The Justice Department has opened a series of investigations into perceived adversaries of President Trump. A source tells the AP the perjury investigation is being led by the federal prosecutor's office in Chicago.
A former Dane County judge and attorney for President Trump is seeking millions from the new Department of Justice Anti-Weaponization Fund. Jim Troupis is requesting $3.2 million from the federal program tied to legal costs and investigations connected to the election in 2020. Troupis faces felony forgery charges in Wisconsin over his alleged role in the fake elector scheme following President Biden's victory. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Troupis formally submitted the request earlier this week.
The Milwaukee Public School Board votes tonight on the district's budget proposal.
The $1.6 billion plan aims to address a $46 million budget shortfall. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius says the focus is putting more resources closer to students.
We were more heavily staffed in central office and administrative roles, and that we needed to have more staff in our schools and in our classrooms.
But not everyone is on board. Some teachers and staff criticizing the proposal, arguing pay increases included in the plan fall short of what educators need.
This anti-worker budget and agenda only hurts the people that have dedicated their lives in MPS in their career.
Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
And addressing food access and flooding concerns in Milwaukee County.
County supervisors are expected to vote on creating a joint city-county task force focused on improving access to fresh and affordable food. The proposal comes after several grocery stores closed across Milwaukee County over the past year, including multiple stores on the city's north side. Leaders are also discussing a new flooding prevention plan focused on clearing storm drains and preparing neighborhoods before severe weather hits. This comes after major flooding hit southeast Wisconsin last year and again this spring. The meeting will begin at noon at the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. All sorts of green today. The Dow is up about 60 points at 50,702. The NASDAQ up 215 points at 26,890. And the S&P is up about 45 at 7564. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Coming up, an update on Packers tight end Tucker Kraft. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is coming up on 12:04.
How do we keep our prices so low? That's easy. We've removed the middlemen. Yep, most landscape suppliers have a couple of them in there, and that's okay. But each one of those men in the middle means a higher cost for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. You know, most mulch is reclaimed from landfills, but Erickson's mulch is ground from whole trees. Yep, we process the mulch ourselves to keep the prices nice and low, and use only premium colorant so the beautiful look of new mulch lasts. At Erickson's, we never skimp, and that's why first-time shoppers become repeat customers. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas, also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Visit 1-800-SPASale.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Brewers own a record of 32-20. They travel to Houston for a 3-game series against the Astros beginning Friday night. Milwaukee has won 15 of its last 19 games. Packers wrap up Block 1 of organized team activities on Friday. Head coach Matt LaFleur with an update on tight end Tucker Kraft, who tore his ACL in November.
Tuck looks great right now. You want him out there. He looks so good. You want to put him out there, but certainly we're still early in that process, and hopefully he'll be ready to go either by training camp or early in training camp.
And the Packers finalized the preseason schedule. It features 2 games on the road and 1 game at Lambeau, and the home game will be August 28th against the Arizona Cardinals.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. I see a couple things dotting the map right here. The good news is no crashes, all disabled vehicles, and for the most part, not seeing any problems because of it. We do have our typical delays on 94 eastbound and westbound around American Family Field due to construction, and it's the same story on 4145 in the construction area around Mayfair and Butler.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox & Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox & Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Mostly sunny today, a little on the cool side. 72 inland, 64 near the lake. Clear tonight, a low of 49. No rain in the forecast for Friday, part of a beautiful weekend here. 84 the high on Friday, inland, 76 near the lake. 74 the high on Saturday, mostly sunny. Mostly sunny on Sunday, a high of 77. Sun returns on Monday with a high of 80. Beautiful stretch. 63 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:07.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
So every once in a while, I look up at the TVs and I kind of do a double take. I'm just not exactly sure if what I think I'm seeing is actually what I'm seeing.
And I heard Greg say, what are we doing with the broccoli? So I was expecting to look up and see there was some cooking show, somebody's making lunch, it's a chef whipping up something, trying to give you an easy recipe for dinner, but this was different.
No, this has everything to do with college softball. So Mississippi State is playing right now. This is on ESPN, so they're getting to the College Softball World Series. So they got these games televised, and they did a little cut to the Mississippi State dugout, and sure enough, they had like 6 crowns of broccoli just sort of hanging from their fence. Lucky
like
broccoli.
Stuck in the fence.
I don't understand, but we've got 3 hours to figure out why.
Maybe it's just a healthy bite for lunch.
Could be.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Happening now, Kohl's reports its best comparable sales growth in 4 years, even as shoppers pull back on spending. Sales slipped less than 2% in the quarter. The Menominee Falls-based retailer points to lower inventory levels and tighter expense control. Today, Kohl's CEO Michael Bender told CNBC the quarter marked the company knocking on the door of growth. It is not all sunny, though. Kohl's saw revenue decline. This looks like hope, though, for Kohl's, a local company that's been struggling in recent years. Kohl's operates more than 1,000 stores across the country, and it remains one of Wisconsin's largest publicly traded retailers.
Well, the U.S. and Iran trading strikes and testing the threshold of an already fragile ceasefire agreement. At this point, no indications from either side that one or the other is closer to an agreement to ultimately end the war. ABC's Ian Pinnell is in Jerusalem.
The truth is this was the second round of strikes in about 48 hours, certainly second round that we've seen this week. You've also got escalation by Israel north of the border inside Lebanon, where there's supposed to be another ceasefire in place. And that's what everyone's talking about, accusing each other of violations of the ceasefire, and meanwhile, no progress towards this interim agreement. Speaking at a cabinet meeting, President Trump made it clear that upcoming U.S. midterm elections will not dictate the timeline. A look in history here, Iran has got a long history of making these things last as long as possible, sort of dragging it out, trying to deplete resources. President Trump dismissed pressure to finalize a deal quickly, saying that Iran's efforts to outlast his administration will ultimately fail.
Well, this is a big deal, a potential cure for hepatitis B. The news just revealed today. Researchers are calling a first-of-its-kind drug for Hep B a functional cure. It lets some patients stop treatment without showing signs of the dangerous liver virus. ABC's Chuck Sievertson has the breaking health news.
Hepatitis B is a serious liver infection spread through contact with blood or other bodily fluids. The new drug attacks it by binding to its genetic components, suppressing viral replication as well as a key protein, and stimulates the immune system, says GSK, which paid for 2 global studies and developed the drug with Ionis Pharmaceuticals. It shows about 1 in 5 patients given the experimental drug saw their virus reduced to levels low enough for the immune system to keep in check.
Chronic hepatitis B can cause liver cancer or even liver failure. It kills more than 1 million people around the world every year, so this is a major development.
Update on the broccoli thing here. I have found
you got
out.
it.
Yeah, so the Mississippi State softball team hangs broccoli in their dugout as an unofficial good luck charm and a reminder to have fun. They started during the NCAA tournament. Players connected with a passionate fan known as Broccoli Guy, who dances in the stands and he holds up the vegetables.
Really?
So that becomes another layer to the story here.
Okay, and now as you were just explaining that, I looked back up at ESPN, and I did see one of the young ladies holding some of the broccoli, and then another young lady had what looked like it could have been like a frozen custard container, and she was eating something out of that. I don't know if it was yogurt. Maybe it's dip for the broccoli.
Oh, that could be.
That's probably it.
Yeah, a little dill dip. That would taste great right now, wouldn't it?
Okay, I guess this keeps it interesting between innings.
All right, you call it a superfood. We call it nature's pom-poms. It's 12:12.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Hey, thanks, John. Greg Matzik here for Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Now that we're beyond winter, you might be wondering just what sort of effect the winter months and winter weather had on the exterior of your home. How are those windows holding up? What about the roof? How about that siding? Noticing any issues there? Well, if you're answering yes, we've got issues to any of those questions regarding any of those things. Siding Unlimited, they are the people to call. Best in the business when it comes to installation of incredible products here. Pella windows, they've got them. LP Smart Side siding, that was installed in our house about 9 years ago. Still looks perfect to me. No warping, no fading. Still looks fantastic thanks to Siding Unlimited. Great products and the best installation teams you will find. That's Siding Unlimited. Family-run business in Brookfield. 665 Larry Court's where you'll find them. Stop out with some ideas and thoughts and connect with their incredible craftsmen and team at Siding Unlimited. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
The broccoli is a symbol for the Mississippi State softball team's carefree, energetic, and hungry underdog mentality.
Because we all wanted to know.
We all have to know. 74 our high today. Plenty of sunshine. In fact, there's no rain in sight here the next several days. Should be a great stretch of weather. I guess a little cooler on the cool side today as compared to earlier in the week. Nonetheless, 74 inland, 65 near Lake Michigan. Overnight low in the 40s. Back into the mid-70s to round out the week here and hitting 80 again on the weekend. 63 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:14. So Packers running back Josh Jacobs, through his lawyers, has vehemently denied any wrongdoing in a criminal case in which he faces 5 charges connected to an alleged domestic violence incident over the weekend. So first responders were dispatched Saturday morning after both a woman and a neighbor called for help. Here's the dispatcher.
I hear yelling and screaming, things being thrown. It's plotting to this location. I have an open line, possibly a male-female.
That was the dispatcher radioing to police. Well, dispatchers say the man involved in the incident ultimately drove away in a Mercedes G-Wagon before officers arrived.
Yeah, at this point, we'll want that vehicle stopped if you come across it.
We'll want that vehicle stopped if you come across it. On Tuesday, 3 days later, Jacobs turned himself in. He was booked into a Brown County jail. He was released on Wednesday. No formal charges were filed. Prosecutors say they are seeking additional evidence in this case.
Well, and that's also because they're not just seeking it, but Josh Jacobs' attorney has come forward and said, it looks like there's additional evidence that may be critical here. So the DA's office wants more time to investigate and says additional evidence may exist that would impact whether criminal charges are appropriate. So that's a big deal. So, and I think that's important to know because I've seen things on social media where some people are saying, he's out of jail, no charges were filed, and kind of making it sound like it's done. This is far from over.
Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely. So Jacobs was detained. He was held in custody. And the paperwork for his dismissal was being filed about the time the Packers took the field for organized team activity practice on Wednesday. Now, the Packers, before this practice, decided to cancel their media availability for players. So player media responsibilities, which is just part of the job here, right, being an NFL player, that was eliminated. Matt LaFleur, however, did speak with the media. I wanted to play the full exchange between reporters and head coach Matt LaFleur. You've maybe heard some clips. I wanted to play the full exchange because I think it gives better context. And here's how it started. It did not start with a question. It started with Matt LaFleur approaching the microphone saying this.
Well, I know there's going to be a lot of questions about Josh. I'm going to stick with the statement that we put out as an organization and just let the process play out.
And as far as football goes, do you have to prepare for the possibility that you might be playing some of the season without him, especially this time of year?
Well, I think a lot's going to happen between now and then.
Have you all had any communication with him the last 3 days? Or?
Yeah, respectfully, I'm not going to elaborate on anything.
And how do you feel about that position in general?
Well, I mean, I like the guys that we have, but certainly you can never have enough, that's for sure.
Are there team standards that you enforce regardless of legal matters?
Oh, always. We always have high standards here, but, I think our guys have done a really good job over the course of at least my time here. I think Goody and his staff do a great job of valuing character and bringing in, really good people.
Matt, just in terms of preparing for the season, when do you need a resolution on this to move forward as a team?
Yeah, I can't really. We're going to let that process play out. I can't really comment on that.
How was it sort of addressed with the team?
I'm going to keep that between myself and the team.
He was asked if he had addressed it with the team, and it sounds like he had in some respect, but he was going to keep that between himself and the team. So Jacobs' attorneys have issued 2 statements. The first, as I mentioned, vehemently denies any wrongdoing. The second one states that all of the evidence is going to be gathered and evaluated. It'll confirm that no charges should be brought against Jacobs in the future. But as you mentioned, that process is ongoing. Jacobs is out. Packers are not practicing today. The investigation continues.
Well, let's talk about those potential charges for a moment because these are serious. Battery, domestic abuse, criminal damage to property, domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, domestic abuse, strangulation and suffocation, and intimidation of a victim. So those are the charges they're looking at. Those were the charges that he was booked on, but he has not been charged yet. And so you need to have the evidence, right? And if you think about it, too, if you think about the laws and you think about the duty that police have to arrest someone, that's different because especially in a domestic violence case, a lot of times, and it wasn't exactly the case here because they didn't go to the house and he was there. He turned himself in days later. But if you go and there's a domestic violence situation, a lot of times they make that arrest also to keep the two people away from each other. I mean, we've seen that in national stories, and that's a critical deal. That's a critical moment. However, much more goes into the whole situation when a DA actually decides whether something needs to be charged, a person needs to be charged. I will say I wasn't shocked at all that the Packers decided not to allow the players talk afterwards. I think that was a smart move. I get it. We want to ask the players questions. We want to hear from them. But if you think about it from the players' perspective, number one, what an awkward position to put them in. I mean, they probably don't know much more than we know, right? Number one. Number two, it's a teammate of theirs, and they're only as close to the situation as is its teammate of theirs, right? So I'm happy to see actually that the Packers, as much as I would like to hear from somebody if they have something worthwhile to say, I'm happy to see that the Packers said no. I think it was a smart move by the organization standpoint. It was kind of interesting that head coach Matt LaFleur was not in the typical room where the media is to ask questions. I've heard a couple things about that, though. I thought maybe that was because they didn't want to see the Packers, but they didn't want Matt LaFleur, when this is all plastered all over the media and going across the country, because it is, with how popular the Packers are, to see, as he's talking about the situation, the Packers behind him, or to see the sponsors behind him. But is it also true that they're doing something to that room, or maybe something was happening in that room?
They are overhauling the media auditorium. In fact, I think that overhaul is complete, but there was some sort of event happening at Lambeau Field, and maybe this was the design all the while, to have Matt LaFleur kind of meet with reporters outside of the practice facility near where they were going to be conducting their OTA practice. I kind of thought the same thing about the sponsorship angle and all that kind of stuff that appears on that backdrop behind Matt LaFleur. They did not live stream Matt's press conference, which I think is probably more difficult to do when you're out and away from the media auditorium than if you were in. They did post, however, the sound that I played for you was pulled from the Packers website. That video is up. They weren't dancing around that. They did post Matt's full thoughts and the questions and the back and forth. The charges that you brought up and that you mentioned, the strangulation and suffocation charge, potential charge, is a felony count. The rest are misdemeanors for what that is worth. I had wondered about the timing of this. I thought it was interesting that this happened on Saturday, and then Jacobs left. And then he turned himself in on Tuesday. So what happened in between? Why the gap in timing? I did a little digging on this. Because Jacobs was no longer at the scene, police officers and local authorities spent the next couple of days conducting their own active investigation into the incident. They were interviewing those involved. They were gathering preliminary evidence over the long holiday weekend. Weren't sure if they had enough to arrest Josh Jacobs at all. But once they completed their initial case review and established probable cause for these recommended charges, Jacobs' legal team intervened and they coordinated with law enforcement to have him formally turn himself in. So that's the reason there was some time in between. It's like, well, why not follow the guy? Why not find him? Why not go back to the house later on? That's what happened. So this was a planned effort for Jacobs to turn himself in.
I was talking to a colleague of ours yesterday when this was breaking, and he said something along the lines of, if Jacobs does indeed get charged with this, and this ends up being true, I feel like football fans and Packers fans, after the first awesome game that's played, will forget about it. And I said, it kind of killed me, because I get it. And I do think in part that it's probably true. And I said, I think it's sad to say, because I think here in Wisconsin, especially when it comes to our sports teams, we have really prided ourselves on grabbing people of character. I mean, you've heard numerous coaches say that. And I think, I don't want to give a couple examples, but I can think of one example off the top of my head with a Bucs player recently who, had some background, had a little baggage that I didn't love. And I remember thinking about that, didn't really want to, I'm a huge Bucs fan, but I didn't really want to cheer so much for that guy. But as time goes on, he's a part of your team and you want your team to do well, right? And I hated to say that I do agree that would probably happen, but I said, man, what a sad state of affairs that is actually the case. Because if this is true, we don't know that yet. He has not been charged yet. And even if he is charged, we'll have to go through the process, right? And see if he's found guilty of this. But that would be really sad if he is indeed guilty of this. And then at some point, we just kind of forget about it because we love our Green Bay Packers and we want them to win. Because when it comes to domestic violence, it's just not okay.
You would ask me how much I know Josh Jacobs in my time covering the Packers. And aside of media scrums and things like that, I've never really been at an event with Josh Jacobs. But yes, seeing him associated with this story, the way he is associated with this story, was surprising to me. He doesn't seem like someone who is easily triggered.
Seemed like a lot of fans were
measured.
shocked.
He seems like the kind of guy you want on your team, the kind of guy you want representing your team. So yes, to me, this was a surprise. I've been around athletes who you knew were just you give them the wrong look and they're going to treat you differently, right? I mean, just they get triggered easily. He doesn't strike me as someone who does, but I don't know what happened inside of that house.
Exactly.
That will play out.
Yeah.
From a football standpoint, regardless of criminal charges, we'll see what nets of this investigation. It is possible the NFL could still levy their own sort of suspension for Jacobs, something the Packers will have to prepare for here as they approach training camp.
Yeah, certainly not what the Packers were looking to deal with right now, though. I think about it as I was putting the news up on social media yesterday, putting a picture of him in his Packers jersey, and then right next to it, the mugshot. And that's just not a look that guilty or innocent that the Packers want right now.
It's 12:25 on WTMJ. We've got news coming up in just a few minutes.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and I want to tell you about the dentist I recommend, my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Conmawalk Dental Care. If you've been putting off a cleaning, dealing with tooth sensitivity, or you're ready to finally fix what's been bothering you, this is a great place to start. Dr. Michaels and his team are welcoming, thorough, and focused on your comfort. They explain your options clearly and help you feel at ease in the chair. From regular checkups to crowns, cosmetic improvements, implants, and Invisalign, they can handle it all. And if something happens unexpectedly, they offer emergency dentistry too. I make the drive from Milwaukee to Oconomowoc just to see Dr. Michaels and his fantastic staff. They're that good. So call 262-567-7224 to request an appointment today or just visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com. That's 262-567-7224 or drmichaelsdentalcare.com.
Well, if you have an issue with your garage door or opener, got to give my friends at Geist a call. For 70 years, they've been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here. If you got a busted garage door, Geist will get you back in the game with brands like CHI and LiftMaster, doors for every budget, openers for every budget, and a custom design center. They can meet your exact needs at Geist. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, check out GeistDoors.com. If you have kind of a nagging issue, nothing's really broken, but things aren't working how they should, give Geist a call. Maybe put them on FaceTime. They might be able to walk you through a troubleshooting solution right over the phone. That is service. That's Geist. Don't think twice. Call Geist and visit GeistDoors.com.
Everywhere you turn, it's plus, plus, plus. Retail chains, streamers, even our phones come with plus. And to think it all started with Hasseless Mattress, because nobody has more plus than us. Right now at Hasseless, get a Queen Beauty Sleep by Beautyrest Elm Cove A mattress. Others sell it for $1,459, but Hasseless has it for just $794. Plus, through Monday, you'll also get a free adjustable base. Plus, a huge selection of Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, and other big name brands. Plus, free financing. Plus, free next day delivery and setup. Plus, free haul away and disposal of your old mattress. Plus, employee free showrooms. Get all this plus a whole lot more when you shop at Hasseless Mattress. Woo! All these pluses have me feeling nonplussed. Save big on Sealy Posturepedic, Beautyrest, and more every day from 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasseless.com.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources. Help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need. They help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Buy one pizza today, get a second pizza free at the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford and in Oshkosh. Don't cook, don't even think about it. You don't need to clean up either. Call, order, and pick up shortly, or just walk in for your free Thursday pizza, Mineshaft.com.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, May 28th. Your top story: an escaped inmate heads to trial.
I'm Jessica Ty. How one New Berlin teenager did in the National Spelling Bee.
Sunny today, 72 inland, 64 near the lake, clear tonight, and a low of 49.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. American and Iranian negotiators believe they've arrived at a draft agreement to formally extend the ceasefire and gradually open the Strait of Hormuz. That according to two U.S. officials and another source with knowledge of negotiations. It still needs final approval from President Trump and Iran's supreme leader, though. Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan says relief for soaring gas prices, meantime, can't come soon enough.
A lot of this is really contingent on developments. Continues to be very difficult to predict exactly how the U.S. and Iran situation will unfold. For now, 9 states where gas prices have fallen back below the $4 a gallon mark, but we still could go higher the longer the strait continues to be closed. In fact, we anticipate the summer average for gasoline could be $4.80 a gallon.
It comes as new reports show Americans are struggling on monthly costs with inflation at a 3-year high. In Colorado, Vice President J.D. Vance delivering remarks at the Air Force Academy commencement today, saying AI will change the future of warfare. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 12:31. An inmate who escaped the Kenosha Correctional Center is headed to trial.
Jonathan Taylor is charged with felony escape after he allegedly broke out of the jail and went on the run for over a week. Investigators say he was in a holding cell while waiting to be transferred to the Racine Correctional Institute when he was able to reach his hand through the food port and unlock the door, then run out of the building. Court records show Taylor has a criminal history of battery, burglary, domestic abuse, and fleeing an officer dating back to 2012. He's due back in court in July. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
An early morning apartment fire in Greenfield forces several people out of their homes.
Message received 922 with Allerton Ave for fire in the bedroom from the water heater. There are flames showing.
That audio courtesy of Broadcastify. Firefighters were called to the Westfield apartment near 92nd and Allerton around 2:45 this morning. Crews say the fire was contained to one room. No one was hurt. Investigators now trying to pinpoint the cause.
The Wisconsin DMV revokes the license of a Milwaukee car dealership over administrative violations. State officials say Fresh Wheels Auto near 68th and Villard failed to maintain a required dealer bond, which is required to legally operate. The dealership is one of 8 across Wisconsin that lost its license this week. The dealers have 30 days to appeal the decision.
The FBI launches an awareness campaign focused on child exploitation. Special agent in charge, Alan Carr, says kids are often targeted by groups of violent online networks.
They could be seeking to sexually exploit children. They could be wanting self-harm videos or videos of harming of animals. And so what we're really encouraging people is to look out for warning signs such as sudden behavior changes. What we really want to encourage parents to do is open dialogues with their kids and also be tuned in to what their children are doing online.
Carr says female teenagers are typically targeted.
And a middle school student from New Berlin ties for 31st place in the Scripps annual National Spelling Bee.
13-year-old Ethan Robert from Eisenhower Middle School advanced to round 7, correctly spelling words like Gormaki in round 1 and Parisian in the quarterfinals.
Parisian. That is correct.
Unfortunately, Robert was eliminated in round 7 after misspelling the word Wakna.
Wakna.
Wakna is Wachna.
He previously tied for 10th place in the 2025 competition. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Never heard of Wakna.
I've heard of a Walkman.
Yeah.
But I don't know that this young guy would, though. I bet he could spell it, though. Congratulations, though. He is a winner in our book.
No doubt.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Stay close. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
And now about your house. It's where you live, but do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home, living beyond the wall. Your imagination may be somewhat limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
I'm confident that 90% of the listeners can look outside their home and dream of a better, nicer, way more outstanding backyard. If you're one of the many, you'll need to call Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited's expert team can design a beautiful, functional, usable backyard space. Then our team can build it. You dream it, we build it. New deck, outdoor kitchen, pavers, retaining walls, screen room. How about a must-see automated pergola that doubles as a screen room? Picture this, a pergola that allows the sunlight through the slats, but with the press of a button, those slats close and now you have protection. Another press of the button and the screens roll down. There's your screen room. The ideas are endless. We recently built a brand new deck with a screen room pergola on top and stairs that lead to a paver oasis complete with a fire pit and seat walls. Amazing. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, automated pergola. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build the amazing backyard. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
See all the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page, or visit their unique outside-in showroom in Waukesha. And if you're looking outside of your home, dreaming of a more beautiful and functional, usable backyard, well, Outdoor Living Unlimited can design and build you an amazing showstopper of a deck, patio, complete with pergola and fire pit, just like they did for us. With expert care, Outdoor Living Unlimited installed a beautiful paver patio, complete with land and stone retaining wall, all sorts of space, room for a built-in kitchen, and complete with a gas fire pit. It's where we spend all of our time. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com. Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Brewers are 32-20 in first place, traveling to Houston for a 3-game series against the Astros beginning Friday night. Milwaukee has won 15 of its last 19 games. Packers wrap up Block 1 of organized team activities on Friday. Head coach Matt LaFleur with an update on tight end Tucker Kraft, who tore his ACL in November.
Tuck looks great right now. You want him out there. He looks so good. You want to put him out there, but certainly we're still early in that process, and hopefully he'll be ready to go either by training camp or early in training camp.
And the Packers finalized the preseason schedule that features 2 games on the road and 1 at Lambeau. The home game will be August 28th against the Arizona Cardinals.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We have no crashes. I'll let you know that right off the bat, so that's fantastic news. We do have a number of disabled vehicles. Most of them are not causing any problems, but I want to let you know about a couple of them here. This one is in a tricky spot. It's in the roundabout curve, I-43 north at Layton Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked right now due to a car that's broken down. And I do see that 2 emergency responders just arrived at the scene. Also, another busy spot, I-43 94 south, very close to the ramp from Beecher Street. Right shoulder is blocked there due to another car that's broken down. And that's just a busy spot. A lot of people going by, kind of slamming on the brakes there as they see that one. 41. I-94 eastbound and westbound around American Family Field. You will see delays there due to our construction. Similar delays on 4145 near the Butler area and also Mayfair due to construction there.
Traffic is sponsored by Capri Communities. Enjoy Life Active Aging Symposium. Visit EnjoyLifeSymposium.com. Live life to the fullest at Capri's Enjoy Life Symposium on Wednesday, June 10th. This free event for older adults includes speakers, exhibitors, activities, and more. Register today at EnjoyLifeSymposium.com.
Sunny today, high 72 inland, 64 near the lake. Clear tonight at a low of 49. We warm up a bit on Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 84 degrees, 76 near the lake. Saturday's high is 74, sunny skies. Sunday, 77. And to begin our work week, 80 degrees on Monday under mostly sunny skies. It's 65 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:39.
Crew travels across Wisconsin, hits multiple cities in just 3 days, and steals more than $7,000 worth of merchandise before businesses and law enforcement connect the dots. That's the kind of organized retail crime happening right now in Wisconsin. And it's one reason more products end up locked behind glass at stores. I went to Walgreens a couple months back, tried to get deodorant. I had to ask somebody to unlock it. Deodorant, Greg.
And the beef jerky, for that matter. That's not a joke.
Alexis Haynes is on the board for the Wisconsin Organized Retail Crime Association. She joins us live in the studio right now to discuss how a recent case in Brookfield helped investigators stop a theft ring before the losses got even worse, and what's coming up on Tuesday to prevent more theft in our state. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So can you walk us through this recent case first? What were the thieves targeting, and how quickly were they moving from store to store?
Yeah, so they were targeting a range of merchandise, and it was a daily occurrence that it was starting. This crew actually targeted a shopping center in Wauwatosa, and were actually able to be deterred from stealing a lot of women's clothing. The next day, that Friday, they traveled all the way up to a shopping center over in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and caused over $3,000 of loss to one single business in one single swoop. They were targeting fragrances and some high-end makeup. Then the very next day on that Saturday, they were actually targeting women's clothing again at a shopping center in Brookfield. They caused over $4,000 worth of loss before that very same day, traveling back to that shopping center in Wauwatosa, where one of our We Orca members recognized them, called the cops. The cops actually talked to the police in Brookfield, connected the dots on the case, and were able to arrest them within 2 days of causing some serious damage to some businesses.
Wow. I mean, everything has resale value, right? So there's nothing that's really off limits, and this is just kind of a snapshot as to the items that were being sought out. My wonder is if, in your experience, Alexis, do stores know that they're more vulnerable based upon their policy for deterring theft and maybe chasing thieves out of the store? And do the organized crime rings and thieves understand what those policies are and specifically target those places?
They most definitely do. We actually see that the stores that have loss prevention in store, word tends to spread. And once that word kind of goes out to these groups, they tend to kind of stay away. When stores don't necessarily have that presence, you're more likely and more susceptible to see that type of organized retail crime because they know that they can.
How does the communication network work behind the scenes? So within your group and talking about from the retailers to the police department, and sometimes it comes to the news as well. We will often get an email that will say, hey, we're looking for this person. They stole this at this store in this community, and you see a picture of it. And sometimes it seems like these people are bold. I mean, I feel like it was just last week it was a woman walking out, just walking out with a big appliance like, hey, nobody's going to stop me.
Yeah, it definitely is some boldness to it, and we tend to see that quite a bit. And we're really working on combating some of that through some new retail theft laws that actually came into play in Wisconsin. We at We Orca are really connecting the dots between retailers, loss prevention, law enforcement, and even lawmakers, actually, to see some real change. We do monthly case sharing calls, and from that, we're able to kind of gather information and share information on certain subjects that might be making a really large impact to multiple different retailers that we would have had never known if we didn't have that communication. And then law enforcement's getting involved too. They're seeing the impact that's happening across the state as opposed to just in their city. And they're wanting to do something about it.
Alexis, what do you do with law enforcement and either, small businesses or major retail chains to try and be up to date, make sure they're up to date on emerging I guess, strategies for this kind of thing, this level of theft?
We are in constant contact with law enforcement. I know in my city, in Wauwatosa, the police department has done a really great job of even doing their own research on some of these trends that we're seeing, or some more of the sophisticated type of stealing, whether it's return fraud, things of that nature. But it's really all about connecting with law enforcement, getting them to realize that, hey, these people that are causing this amount of theft in our store, they're usually also causing other crimes in other parts of either their city or in the state as a whole. So law enforcement has really actually taken an interest in organized retail crime because they're seeing the connections to some of the other crimes that are occurring in their cities.
I feel like theft is one part of this and resale is the other part. Does social media or online resale make this problem much easier for criminals now? Like if you go on Facebook Marketplace, it might be your neighbor selling a little something that she doesn't need anymore. But sometimes you see this and you're like, where did they get that? Or why do they have so much of that?
That is a huge part of this that has evolved. So retail crime is always evolving, and Facebook Marketplace is definitely a huge factor into that. What that's called is called a fence. It's basically, it used to be a business that would be reselling stolen merchandise, and we're not really going to business anymore, trying to figure out, hey, who's maybe selling this stolen merchandise? We're going straight to Facebook nowadays because 9 times out of 10, probably even 99 times out of 100, wow, they are reselling it on Facebook. So all of those ads that you see for fragrances, for Nike clothing, that's where we're really finding some of these fences.
How do you handle things across state lines? If somebody's going to Illinois and then they make their sale, but the items they stole were here in the state of Wisconsin?
So we do see some of that really organized retail crime that crosses state lines and even goes country to country. Once it crosses state lines, it becomes very tricky for us. The statute of limitations kind of sets in, which is the tricky part. However, in Wisconsin, what they've done to help county to county is they're able to now roll over retail theft charges instead of it being $100 here, $100 there, and you're looking at 2 misdemeanors. You're rolling all of that actually into one charge so you can hit that felony charge just to combat some of the organized retail crimes that is staying under that felony limit. Now it just became a lot harder for the thieves.
Your group is hosting this major organized retail crime conference next week. It's coming up on Tuesday. It's at WCTC, Waukesha County Technical College. Who's in the room for these conversations and what's the goal?
Yeah, we have over 200 people that are going to be coming to our 5th annual conference, and it's mostly made up of loss prevention professionals, law enforcement, investigators, and just industry experts, really. And the goal is simple: networking, information sharing, and really growing the partnership, because that's how we were able to solve that case so quickly for someone that was traveling across the state, for that to be solved in 2 days. That happened because of those partnerships. So it's really about building those partnerships, building the community and informing the community of certain things like that new retail theft law, but also just kind of growing the network so that we can continue to make an impact in our communities.
And Alexis, are there specific retail theft laws that you would like to see implemented in the state of Wisconsin? Things that might be working in other states that Wisconsin just doesn't have?
Honestly, I think this new retail theft law is a big step in the right direction. Wisconsin, the felony limit is actually $500, which is a little bit shocking because in places like California, that's not the case. But being able to kind of roll these charges over into one is a huge help. I think it's going to make a huge impact. It just happened within this past month. So we actually have the DA of Kenosha coming to the conference to speak on that and kind of share those ideas of, hey, what might help too in terms of state law that can really help combat this issue.
You mentioned this is the 5th year for the conference. So how much has organized retail crime changed in just the 5 years? And how does it maybe compare to states across the country?
Yeah, we have seen retail theft really evolve. So one of the other speakers, Commander Ware from the Cook County Sheriff's Department, is coming to speak on cargo theft. That's how retail theft has really evolved. These Facebook Marketplace is a great example of how retail theft has evolved, but the thieves are even getting smarter with how they're stealing, right? We're seeing cargo trucks jacked pretty much, and it's causing hundreds of thousands of dollars of loss in a single go. So as retail theft is evolving, it is a goal of ours to also continue to evolve, to bring new information, to make not only loss prevention aware, but also law enforcement aware as well of, hey, this is how the market is changing. We need to keep up with how it's changing and start thinking of ideas together.
I'm thinking about all the business owners, maybe smaller businesses listening right now, thinking, well, a lot of these things happen at Dick's Sporting Goods or Target, right? I mean, these are massive companies. They've got insurance that they're taken care of. They're not going out of business because, one bad actor decided to steal $1,000 worth of good. But that small business may have a tougher time recovering. How can a small, maybe independent business benefit from joining your organization and being along with the big guys in the place?
Yeah, we have actually seen some of those business owners coming aboard and wanting to get involved because they see the impact. It impacts these businesses in bigger ways than just one, but these smaller businesses see the impact as well. There's been times where merchandise has been recovered and we've seen, hey, this doesn't belong to us. Figured out it belongs to a small business here in Milwaukee. It's always sad to see, but when our business owners are kind of getting involved, they really run the plays of their own business. Corporate, we have a lot of rules that we need to follow. These bigger businesses have a ton of policies and procedures, but business owners really can make it their own, and they don't know where to begin. So WeOrca is a great place to start.
Whether it's a big store or a small store, some people think organized retail crime is just a store problem. That's not the case, though, is it?
No, I actually work. I'm the asset protection manager over at Nordstrom, and our salespeople make commissions. So when you are taking merchandise from the store, you're actually taking from that salesperson. They can't sell merchandise if it's not in the store. So a lot of businesses run like that. And so we think that, hey, we're just impacting the big company, but you're actually impacting the small worker that's trying to make a living.
You just took me back because my first job, Greg knows this, was at Boston store at Brookfield Square. When we had the Boston store at Brookfield Square, this is way back in the day. I worked in the junior section, and we would have to call in. You had a little something, you get on the phone, you do a star or whatever it was, and you would call in to alert somebody, and then the asset team would come down and take a peek at it. And we had to deal with that a lot. But also, I'm thinking about, too, I remember when the Kohl's store right over here opened up. It was a soft launch. And I went in because I thought, this is great. This is in downtown Milwaukee. I love that downtown has a Kohl's. Again, soft launch. They hadn't even fully launched yet. And I saw somebody taking out, I don't remember if it was like a shirt or a hat. And I thought, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. This store isn't even fully open yet. It also made me feel uncomfortable. But I'm curious, for the people listening right now, if somebody actually sees something happening, what would you suggest? Because I think a lot of times it's an uncomfortable situation and people just want to get away from it. Other times people might want to intervene. Should you tell the store? What should Joe and Susie, who are in that store and seeing it happen, do?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. Loss prevention professionals are highly trained. We go through weeks worth of training, classroom training. We know what to do in certain situations, and when certain situations become dangerous, we also know what to do in those instances, right? We don't want anybody being put into a dangerous position. So your best course of action is to alert the store employees and let them deal with it. Even if they get away, there are things like license plate readers, facial recognition that we can utilize to then hold that person accountable. But it's not worth endangering the public's safety, I would say. I would err on the side of caution, but I would really let the store know because they track those things. That helps us identify, maybe we didn't identify that person before and now we have a new subject that we can, not necessarily go after, but do some research on and see if we can have some accountability brought to that person.
You see those license plate readers at the Mayfair Mall parking lot, and they have the signs that warn you, hey, we have this happening. So beware. That is Alexis Haynes. She's on the board of the Wisconsin Organized Retail Crime Association. Alexis Haynes, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's 12:53.
The proof is in the pudding. Advertisers that hire us stick with us for years and years because they trust us, because we always promptly respond to customer needs, and because bottom line, we get results. Go to Anderson-Smith.com's Our Clients page to see who trusts us and check out a long list of real advertising success. Then hit the Contact Us button, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because it's time we grew your business. Anderson-Smith.com. What's it going to cost to make it work? Wrong question. What you need to ask is, what do I have to do to make it work? What do I have to say so that I can truly set my business apart? That's why you call us, to make your ad budget give your message affordable repetition and to relay it in a powerful way to make sure folks remember your business first when their time of need arises. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you ASAP because it's time we grew your business. Anderson-Smith.com.
Hey, Greg Matzik here for Annex Wealth Management. My good friends at Annex Wealth Management are there for you. Among the things that worry high net worth individuals the most, tariffs, major geopolitical conflict, and policy uncertainty. Those are big words, and Annex Wealth Management understands that they can help no matter where you are in your financial journey. If you're just getting started or maybe inching closer to that retirement day, connect with the folks at Annex. They have been so helpful for us over the last several years, making sure that we had a plan in place and that we're executing against that plan. Review your portfolio with Annex Wealth Management, their expert financial team. See if you're on the right track. We know markets can shift and costs change. Your own priorities might change as well. Annex takes the time to understand your situation. Custom plans are built for each individual working with Annex. They're also very visible with financial education, with webinars on inflation, jobs and the economy, tax strategies, and cool in-person events, including one coming up here, June 18th. It's called Saving the Family Cottage. It's up north season, right? It's getting to be. Conversations about your vacation property might come up even more around this time of year, like who takes control and ownership of the family lake house or the cabin in the years to come. Well, learn how to navigate those challenges with Annex Wealth Management. June 18th, reserve your spots, Saving the Family Cottage. Just check out the events tab at annexwealth.com. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management.
Do you want the economy mulch or the premium? The only real difference is that the premium mulch has thicker strands, while the economy mulch is finer. But the colorant we use for both is of the highest quality, and that's why the color of our mulch lasts longer. And our mulch comes from trees, not pallets, and we process it all in-house. That's why our prices are so low. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. At Erickson's Landscape Supply, we have durable, maintenance-free polywood patio furniture and #1 grade treated natural pine Amish-made patio furniture. And we also have a wonderful assortment of concrete benches, statues, and fountains available in a selection you just gotta see to believe. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less, plus a whole lot more. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection or stop on in today.
74 your high today inland, a little cooler near the lake. I don't think we'll get 70 here near Lake Michigan, but that's all right. 49 your overnight low, clear skies. Tomorrow's high 84 inland, 75 near the lake. It's 65 and sunny in Milwaukee.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Well, the folks at Gruber Law Offices are there for you if you've been hurt in an accident. In fact, I just saw David. We just let him in the side door here, as a matter of fact, at the Market Hall, grabbing some lunch and hanging out with us. Right? He is here. David Gruber is at our studios today. Gruber Law Offices is there for you. If you've been hurt in an accident, it really is a one-call, that's-all situation with Gruber. If you've been hurt in an accident, you make the call to Gruber. They focus on the legal aspect while you focus on healing. It's what they do. It's what they've done as one of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest, now going on 40 years here in southeastern Wisconsin and the state, earning results that speak for themselves. Check out gruberlaw.com. That's gruber-law.com. Learn about what they can do for you. Also, what they do in the community, supporting anything and everything, it appears, right? Gruber's everywhere, supporting community initiatives where you live, because you and your community means the world to Gruber. Locally known and nationally recognized, call 414-276-6666.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, let's talk barbecue. It's summer in Wisconsin. It's hot out, hopefully. And we're all going to be grilling brats and burgers. Let's have some fun talking about barbecue with one of our great partners here at WTMJ. That's coming up.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hey, better. Swing into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee for the $300,000 Big League Series. Just play with your rewards card over 3 months to earn entries. Here's the lineup. Leading off April, on deck May, in the hole June. All monthly entries you earn will roll into drawings on Friday, June 26th, where you could win cash, free play, or one of 3 new Toyota vehicles. It's the $300,000 Big League Series, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lozica here for Comfort Awnings. This year, reclaim your outdoor space like I did. Having the option to extend our awning when that summer sun gets too hot or when it's raining has been a game changer, and it allows my dogs, husband, and I to enjoy our patio every season. Right now, get up to $500 off any awning or screen. That's right, get 10% off up to $500 until the end of the month. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit ComfortAwnings.com to learn more.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm Greg Nansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, May 28th. Your top story, extending the ceasefire between the United States and Iran.
I'm Jessica Ty. Mpox confirmed in Wisconsin.
Mostly sunny today, high 72. Lakeside, 64, clear tonight, and a low of 49. It's 65 and sunny in Milwaukee. At 101 from the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, a deal to extend the ceasefire between the United States and Iran has reportedly been reached with an agreement on a 60-day memorandum of understanding. News Nation's Robert Sherman is in Qatar.
Is you would have 60 days put on the clock, and initially, according to the president and some of the indications that we've gotten, you would see things such as the Strait of Hormuz being reopened quickly. But it would punt the longer-term conversations. Iran's nuclear ambitions, who would necessarily control the Strait of Hormuz long-term, those are where some of the red lines still remain red between both of these sides.
Both the United States and Iran have traded airstrikes over the last 24 hours, with both sides accusing the other of violating the current ceasefire.
More controversy involving prediction markets. A Google employee is charged with making wagers using insider information.
On December 4th, Google announced the name of the most searched person of 2025. Before that, prosecutors say Michelle Spagnuolo bet on Polymarket that it would be the singer David, who spells his name with a 4 instead of an A. He was right and netted $1.2 million. But as an information security engineer at Google, Spagnuolo already knew the answer. He's been charged with money laundering, commodities fraud, and wire fraud. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
A cluster of Mpox cases have been confirmed in southeast and northern Wisconsin.
5 total cases have been identified in the state so far this year, though the Department of Health Services declined to identify which communities cases were detected in. The virus, formerly known as monkeypox, can cause a painful rash and is spread through intimate face-to-face or skin-to-skin contact. The risk to the general public is still considered low, and health experts say prevention can be achieved by knowing what symptoms to look for and having honest conversations about sexually transmitted diseases with romantic partners. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A 38-year-old man is dead after a double shooting on Milwaukee's north side. Police were called to gunfire near 30th and Congress around 3 this morning. Investigators say a 40-year-old showed up at a local hospital with injuries. They're still investigating what exactly led up to the shooting and looking for suspects in the case.
Well, new safety rules for ATV and UTV riders take effect in Wisconsin next week. Beginning June 1st, the new law will require everyone riding a UTV to wear a seatbelt, including the driver. Changes also include new restrictions on towing riders and updated window tint rules. Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources says the updates are aimed at reducing deadly crashes across the state. So far, 14 ATV and UTV deaths have been reported in the state this year. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow has gone from green to red, down 15 points at 50,629. NASDAQ still up a bunch here, up 250 points at 26,926. And the S&P is up about 50 at 7567. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. It's financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Were the Milwaukee Brewers stealing signs during a 3-game sweep of the Cards? That's coming up. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:05.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
That's what got me interested in doing the Milwaukee Weight Loss Program. That resetting of the metabolism, Lord knows I needed that to happen, as well as the coaching for ongoing support. They help me out on finding strategies to keep this weight off for good. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers travel to Houston for a 3-game weekend series with the Astros beginning Friday night. Were the Brewers stealing signs during that 3-game sweep of the Cardinals? That's what the St. Louis clubhouse believes. Brewers president of baseball operations, Matt Arnold, has a different take.
If we were stealing signs, we'd probably have more homers. The reality is that, that's just not what we're doing. And we play the game a different way, and we play it tough, and we're all trying to compete and do things, competitively. And obviously the Cardinals do a good job over there, and they're competitive, but to suggest that we're doing that is honestly kind of ridiculous.
Brewers lead the NL Central with a record of 32-20. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur believes Tucker Kraft could be available for the start of training camp after tearing his ACL in November. And former Pewaukee High School standout Milan Momcilovic is withdrawing his name from the NBA draft. He instantly becomes the top target of the transfer portal after playing 3 seasons at Iowa State.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Looks like we're still dealing with a broken down vehicle in a little bit of a tricky spot. It's I-43 north at Layton Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked, and it's right there on the curve. I'm taking a peek at the cameras for you there, and before there were 2 emergency responders out there. The broken down vehicle is out there still, and so is 1 emergency responder. The other one is gone. So heads up there if you are traveling through I-43 north at Layton Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down. Emergency responders are out there at the scene. A couple other broken down vehicles. For the most part, they are not causing any problems, though. We are still seeing slowdowns, you guessed it, in our construction zones on 94 westbound and eastbound around the ballpark, and 4145 in the Butler area and near Mayfair Mall.
Plenty of sunshine today, high 72 inland, 64 near the lake. Clear tonight, a low of 49. Friday, mostly sunny, high 84 inland, 76 near the lake. Saturday, sunny and 74. Sunday, sunny, a high of 77, 80 degrees, and sunny on Monday. 65 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 109.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
With you till 3 o'clock this afternoon. Yeah, no rain in the forecast here. I mean, not a drop. We're at a pretty, I don't know if we're getting to drought conditions yet here, but definitely below normal rainfall here. We'll try and get an idea when rain could fall again with Jacob Montesano coming up. I have this theory. It could rain every night between midnight and 3 a.m.
And that's
that'd be
okay
fine.
with you?
That'd be great. That'd be great. Lawns would be in good shape, right? You wouldn't really disrupt your day plans at all.
What about people delivering the paper, though?
Well,
out there, throwing it out, or they got to jump out and deliver it to the apartments and the condos. And
does that still happen?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. I remember in my days of TV when I got up at like 1 a.m, and sometimes I'd be the only other person. I'd walk the dog outside, hardly anybody around, and then every once in a while I would see the guy delivering the paper.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
You could always know if one of us was running late because you knew what time they should be there.
It's 1:10 here on WTMJ.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, a mobile app for Trump accounts went live today. Trump accounts function as IRA accounts for kids. The government is putting $1,000 into these accounts for kids born between 2025 and 2028. Money is invested in U.S. companies with a history of long-term growth. You can then add up to $5,000 each year to accelerate your child's potential gains over time. Then at age 18, your child can use the money. The app is buried a bit. In case you're looking for it, I do want to let you know, I searched Trump Account's official app this morning in the Apple App Store to confirm that it was indeed live. And I was scrolling, and I was like, what the heck here? And then I got out of it, and I started again. I had to scroll through like 55 apps to find it when I searched Trump Account's official app. But it is there. I have a feeling at some point they'll make that go up to the top, right? The administration will say, hey, can we move that a little bit? My gut says yes.
Did you just search through the App Store?
Through the Apple App Store.
I'm wondering if the more people search for it and click on it, if it sort of does that on its own, right? Is that
maybe
part
it'll
of the,
go up?
you know
That's
what I mean?
possible.
Yeah,
since today's day 1. The app currently has financial literacy information on it, but the accounts themselves will be launched this summer. And if you're interested in this account, I mean, a lot of people are hearing about this, and you're like, okay, the government is going to put in money for a kid. It gives you a jump start, right? So you, your family members, even your employer can add money to the kid's Trump account.
Number 2, tonight the MPS board will vote on whether to approve a $1.6 billion budget for the district in 2027. It helps resolve a $46 million deficit while shifting major resources directly to the classroom. Roughly 280 new classroom positions, teachers, and educational assistants will be added if the budget goes through. Some major cuts, however, as part of this for non-classroom administrative jobs and assistant principals. Some vendor contracts are also off the books as part of the plan. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius calls it a student-first budget.
We wanted to make sure that our students got a permanently licensed teacher in every single classroom. It wasn't as successful as we'd hoped it had been to get that staffed, but we're committed to staffing on those priority first, and then we'll put the folks who have been accessed into other positions as they make their choices on where they want to go for schools. We think almost all of our staff that has been accessed will be able to find a position within the district.
MPS employees are also slated for a 2.63% cost of living increase phased in, with a 1.5% increase in July and a 1.13% increase in January.
Number 3, get set for a rare blue micromoon this weekend.
This Sunday, you'll see a blue moon that's also the most distant and smallest looking full moon of the year. A bonus, the brilliant star Antares, a bright orange-red star in the constellation Scorpius, will appear near the moon. A blue moon happens every 2 to 3 years when a second full moon squeezes into a single month, in this case May. Since its orbit isn't a perfect circle, the upcoming full moon will be farther from Earth than usual at over 252,000 miles.
That's a lot of moon talk, but now you know when somebody says, hey, aren't we supposed to have like a rare moon coming up this weekend? Yes, we are. It's a rare blue micromoon.
Love it.
It's going to look like a mini moon. That was ABC's Chuck Sievertson, by the way, in case I didn't let you know. Have you ever used one of those Starfinder apps?
Yeah, I used to have it on my iPad.
You did?
It was kind of an older app, but it would help with constellations. You
That's
could kind of.
so cool.
It actually worked better than I thought it should, but it was great. I liked it.
I knew they were out there. I never personally used one, but the other night I was saying, wow, that star is so bright up there. And my husband was like, I think that's what it was. And then he pulled out this app and was showing me, and then it drew out the character, like the zodiac sign that it was supposed to be. It was pretty fascinating.
It's 1:14 on WTMJ. What would you do with a 980-year-old California redwood tree? Would you ever think you could buy it?
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him real good.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you were harassing.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
Who's hungry? Got an idea for you tonight for dinner. Make it easy and delicious. Make it a Palermo's night. How about that? Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's, with that urban pie, Connie's, Primo Thin, Screamin' Sicilian, so many great brands. They got a slice for every appetite. And a great deal going on right now. Flavorful, incredible crust, wood fire pizza taste. That's right, for $5.99. You can bring home an unbelievable pizza made by Connie's, part of the Palermo's family, now through June 2nd at Sendik's. Connie's Pizza, $5.99, now through June 2nd at Sendik's. Stock up and save with Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza, found wherever you like to shop. Bring it home tonight.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Summer is upon us. June is just about here, and I love this. The last Experience Wisconsin of May is going to be a really good one. We're going to get you all set up on this week's show. Road America, Elkhart Lakes Playground for Speed. Road America will be on the show. They've got a huge month coming up. We'll get you all hooked up on that. And head to the Northwoods. It's that time of year. Rhinelander on this week's Experience Wisconsin. Saturdays at 1, right here on 620 WTMJ.
All right, you got to want to text the word watch to our talking text line here, 855-616-1620. We'll prep you for our next story here. You're going to have to see this thing. Text watch to 855-616-1620. We'll explain what you are seeing coming up in just a minute. 74 degrees, your high inland today, 66 closer to Lake Michigan, 49 your overnight low, back into the mid-80s inland on Friday, 75 near Lake Michigan. It's 65 and sunny in Milwaukee at 117. A fascinating story here. A Cedarburg man is looking to turn an ancient redwood log into a roadside attraction. How's that for a headline for you? Dave Abdul is the owner of a 980-year-old California redwood tree that was hollowed out in the 1940s and then converted into a 30-foot-long mobile log cabin. The cabin is constructed from a single redwood tree that is nearly 1,000 years old. It was over 260 feet tall before it was harvested, and Abdul wants everyone to experience it. Dave joins us on the line right now. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Hey, let's talk about the acquisition process here, Dave. Of all the unique items in the world that you could have put your hands on, what made you say, you know what, I got to buy that 30-foot mobile redwood cabin?
So first thing when I saw it, I was really enjoyed redwood, and the thing is, there is not too many people who is able to go to California and see the redwoods. And I thought, you know what, it could be a really good thing to bring it to Wisconsin and just show it to the people how huge and lovely they are.
Dave, I'm checking out your GoFundMe page right now as you're raising money to support your dream project here. It says, World's Most Unusual Home. Take us inside. What will people get to see? We've got some pictures right now that are streaming, but for those who are listening as they're driving the car as well, what makes this so unique inside?
So it's basically the whole log, and you basically walking through the tree. You're walking through the treasure. Reason why? Because 980, if you're going to think about it, 980 years old, that tree, and you're walking through the tree, which is, even when Columbus got into the United States, this tree already was 500 years old. So it's very unique, and there's only 3 of them in the world, one in California, and one in Florida, and ours in Wisconsin.
So this thing was hollowed out in 1940, somewhere in the 1940s, and it was converted into this log cabin. So you didn't gut the whole thing, but did you have to do any restoration work or refurbishment to make it what it is and what our viewers are seeing right now?
Correct. So original builder who builds a log cabin is passed away in 2010. So since 2010, it was just sitting on someone's backyard, untouched, uncovered, and it almost got destroyed. So the time when I bought it in 2022, I spent 2 years to restore the log.
So 2 years of restoration work. So now this thing's got electricity in it, right? I mean, a log with electricity.
It got everything. Correct. It got everything.
So, Dave, you want this to be a place where history meets green energy. How so?
Correct. So my thought was I'm going to put some solar panels on the top of the greenhouse, and basically it's going to be green energy on a greenhouse. And people and the kids, when they're going to see it, they're going to see that the log house actually doesn't need any electricity from outside of the world. It can just use its own energy, which is going to be provided by the solar panels.
That is fascinating. Fascinating work. Quickly, how did you get it back? Like, where was this thing when you bought it, and how did you get it to where it is now?
I got it in Madison, and I bought it through the auction. There was a huge auction there, and I brought it to Port Washington, and I'm still there. After restoration, the first time I just showed it to the people, and back in 2024, I took it to Ozaukee County Fair and showed it to the people. Everyone loved it. Everyone came from all over the Wisconsin, in Madison, from Green Bay, people came over. And I thought, you know what, I don't want to keep it privately. I want to show it to the public and put it somewhere by the side of the highway.
How do you move this thing? It's like it's 1,000 years old. It's 30 feet long. What? And on your standard truck can make this thing go from place to place, can it?
It can. So it just connects to the semi truck and just hauls around with a semi tractor.
So your hope is that it's going to stay in Port Washington and will be visible from I-43. That's the hope here. I'm curious how you decided not to make it become like an Airbnb of sorts. I'll be honest with you, when I first saw this, I thought, oh, this is kind of up my husband's alley. He loves going to parks and he'd love to see, the trees in the national parks, and this would be a unique experience. And then I realized, oh, nope. He's not doing that. Well, other people have. You said, I don't want to make this an Airbnb, but you want people to be able to experience. What went into that decision?
Correct. The reason why I did that, because there is a lot of people who would, and a lot of kids who would just rent it out and try to burn it down, destroy it, and you will never be able to build something like this. Since 1960, you cannot cut any redwoods, and they're all protected by the government. That's why this camper is even more unique, and you cannot build something like this anymore in the world. Nobody can. So I thought, I don't want to rent it out, because somebody can destroy it, and the world's going to lose something unique piece. And that's the reason why I would love to put it by the side of the road, so people can just stop by and experience the walk through the history, walk through the tree.
So, Dave, how does that process work? Are you working with state officials to get this done, or local government? Like, how does it work to become a roadside attraction as is your goal? Where do you begin that process, and where are you in that process?
So I try to connect with everyone around, with the Wisconsin government, with the state, local cities, but there's no luck. Nobody really interested in that kind of stuff. I try to go through the banks, and I try to get the SBA loan for it. And none of the banks actually is thinking that's going to be something they can make money on. So that's the reason why I'm trying to see if there is going to be a public help just to purchase the land and put it somewhere so public can see it.
Dave, if these walls could talk, what kinds of stories do you think this tree would tell after nearly 1,000 years of life?
That's another big project I was thinking, like connect with some of the movie producers, or if you're going to think about it, that tree is seen basically a lot. And it could be even movie took it over and make the movie out of it too. So when the person cut it over, he's seen all these stories, whatever happened in the past 980 years.
It's an absolutely fascinating story. If you've texted the word watch to our talk and text line, 855-616-1620, you see some images of the initial harvest of the tree, and so many questions. How did it get from California to a guy's yard in Madison before it got to Dave's hands? But nonetheless, nearly 1,000-year-old tree, carved out, hollowed out, converted into a 30-foot long mobile cabin that Dave Abdul is trying to have become a roadside attraction here in the state of Wisconsin. Dave, what else do you have to do before you take it out to the fair and move it around this summer? Is there anything else that you've got to do before doors officially open to the public?
There is some insurance need to be done for got insurance, of course, to make it all privately, but there is no any specific license need to be. Only insurance for walking through allows the people to walk through and just to be insured.
Well,
cool idea, Dave. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, we wish you the best of luck here, Dave. Really a fascinating story. You've got an incredible story to tell. Best of luck in your venture with this.
Thank you much. I really appreciate it.
Dave Abdul joining us here. And, that is a fascinating story. I don't know where it goes from here, but nonetheless, you've got a near 1,000-year-old California redwood just hanging out in Cedarburg that you can actually walk through.
Treehouse from California. Hopefully, if Dave gets his way, in Cedarburg soon.
1:26. We've got news coming up.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Lark.
I love the location, and that's the main reason Dave and I are there, is because of nature all around us. I knew when we moved in, I was leaving behind a lot of stress and responsibility. I decided now is the time to do what I want when I want to do it.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Well, what is chaotic in your house right now? If the answer is everything, well, I get it. Totally understand. And now all of a sudden the kids are going to be out of school. It's going to be a little more chaos in the house. Maybe that mud room or that laundry room is going to have more stuff in it, right? How many pairs of shoes do you really need out by that back door? Well, Inspired Closets Milwaukee can add order and organization to that cluttered space. They did it for us in our master, and quite frankly, I need them back out to look at our laundry room because I feel like I need to pole vault my way in to even see the floor and get to our washer and dryer. There's clothes all over the place, right? Hampers, laundry bins brought in. I have no organization in that space, and now that's become my new stress point. Inspired Closets Milwaukee can remove the stress, remove the clutter, add that organizational touch. And I'm not talking about a nice job. I'm talking about a transformation. They did that with our master closet. They will do it for you. Wonderful people. In fact, I saw Katie and Dan today. They were here at our 3rd Street Market Hall studios. We talked about our summer plans and what spaces need organizational touches in our home beyond what they've already done for us. We're already starting to work on the next project. Katie and Dan, Inspired Closets Milwaukee, have them do for you what they did for us. Wonderful people, high quality materials. Their design team, outstanding. They come to you, they take measurements, they listen to you. You design the project together because your space and your life is custom to you. Connect with InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas, also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Visit 1-800-SPASale.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. For pilots and aviation lovers, there's nothing like making a trip to EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. July 20th through the 26th, get up close to thousands of aircraft. Learn about the newest innovation. Get hands-on with experts and witness breathtaking daily air shows, some even at night. There's no better way to immerse yourself into the world of aviation than by checking out the world's greatest aviation celebration. Fuel your passion for flight. EAA.org is the website. July 20th through the 26th, EAA.org.
People hear Horicon Bank and they think local, instantaneously.
Over the years, was able to help them in their later years when they needed some care. So I would say that was cradle to grave experience for me.
We encounter precious moments like this all the time. We have a trust administration department that can help.
Our motto is together as a bank and as an organization and then doing good.
There's amazing success stories of small business entrepreneurs who now are multi-million $1 companies.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Are you like me? Do you stress about your home, how it looks, or maybe you're worried about something leaking? Well, you can live with peace of mind and without stress by getting a new roof from Tri-County Contracting. Get yourself a free instant roof quote right now. Go to TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's that easy. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, May 28th. Your top story. An accused human trafficker appears in court.
I'm Jessica Ty, searching for Bigfoot in Wisconsin.
Lots of sun today and the rest of the week and weekend. 72, your high inland, 64 near the lake. Clear tonight and a low of 49. We warm up on Friday, mostly sunny and a high of 84.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A possible draft to extend the ceasefire deal between the U.S. and Iran has been reached, along with the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, according to 2 U.S. officials and another source with knowledge of negotiations. But it still needs final approval from President Trump and Iran's supreme leader. The Commerce Department showing inflation is now at a 3-year high due to the ongoing conflict with Iran. A separate report finds more people are going hungry, including a growing number of children and minorities. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has details.
10% of households surveyed in February said they didn't have enough food or their kids had to miss meals. That is more than double what we saw in mid-2020. And remember, back then it was the pandemic.
The growing Ebola outbreak in Central Africa prompting the Trump administration to set up a 50-bed facility in Kenya for any Americans who face quarantine due to the Ebola outbreak. And tennis favorite Jannik Sinner out of the French Open, his 30-match winning stretch broken amid dangerous heat across Europe. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. A 22-year-old man accused of trafficking a UW-Milwaukee student making his first appearance in court. Prosecutors say Brer Meyer used social media to arrange meetups where the victim performed sex acts for money over several months. Meyer was arrested in Jefferson County earlier this month after a warrant was issued for his arrest. During a court appearance Wednesday, his bond was set at $20,000. Meyer's next appearance in court is scheduled for June 4th.
The FBI is reportedly interviewing Milwaukee police officers in a 2020 election probe. The special agent in charge at the Milwaukee FBI office can't publicly comment on specifics, but Alan Carr did have this to say on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
What we'll say is we continue to focus on white-collar crime, which would include our public corruption program, civil rights, frauds and swindles, to include election integrity. And we always encourage anyone that would have any information about any of those violations to give us a call.
Questioning will focus on officers present at polling places and the central count location on election night.
A former Dane County judge and attorney for President Trump seeking millions from the new Department of Justice Anti-Weaponization Fund. Jim Troupis is requesting $3.2 million from the federal program tied to legal costs and investigations connected to the 2020 election. Troupis faces felony forgery charges in Wisconsin over his alleged role in the fake elector scheme following President Biden's victory. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Troupis formally submitted the request earlier this week.
Decision Wisconsin. Republican gubernatorial candidate Tom Tiffany says he still believes state lawmakers missed an opportunity with the failed tax relief and education funding package. Congressman Tiffany criticized the bipartisan proposal negotiated by Governor Tony Evers and legislative leaders on WTMJ's Point Taken.
I answered the question as if I were the governor of the state of Wisconsin and I was negotiating this deal, there's a $2.5 billion surplus. We should return all of it to the taxpayers.
Tiffany says he supported pieces of the plan, including tax relief on tips and overtime. That proposal failed in the state Senate earlier this month.
And the search for Bigfoot continues, this time at the library. Emily Heller from the Bridges Library System tells WTMJ.
Players for our special event will go to each library location, walk around, and look for Bigfoot. Our Bigfoots will be located on posters somewhere in the building. And then when you find the Bigfoot, you get to collect stamps to add to your map.
24 libraries in Jefferson and Waukesha County are taking part in the event. The prize is a chance to win one of 12 $50 gas gift cards.
Find Bigfoot, find the cheese. If that's not Wisconsin, I don't know what is.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Stay close. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
Meet Jim and Rita. We went on a motorcycle trip. But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident. They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital. Sometime later, Rita made a discovery. She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there? And amazingly, he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's. And I had my checkbook in my hand. But when he arrived there, and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty. Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty. It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's Miraculous No Small Print Warranty yourself at KesslersDiamonds.com.
If you're going to put some of your hard-earned profits into advertising, you better do it right. Because we know you don't want to waste a dime. If you want ad success, it's not just knowing what to say, it's knowing how to say it. Telling isn't selling, and a message that doesn't sell will waste your money. With thousands of ads of experience, we know what to say and how to say it to get you better results. Go to Anderson-Smith.com's Our Work page to listen and see why we're the guys smart advertisers call to make their ad dollars work harder. We found that whatever kind of ad you decide to run, if it doesn't sell, it's a bad ad. One thing we're pretty good at is digging deep to find what truly sets our clients apart from their competition. And we're always surprised at what we find and have often asked, well, why haven't you been telling the public that? There are things about your business that you aren't telling enough people, and certainly not often enough. We'll fix that. Go to Anderson-Smith.com and hit the Contact Us button, because we help small business advertisers get better results.
Buying a home is like getting a nose job.
This is David Wickert, president and the maestro of metaphor at Accunet Mortgage, NMLS ID 255368, equal housing lender. It's a new chapter and a new you waiting on the other side of the bathroom mirror. Everyone who loves you just wants to make sure it fits your face and doesn't make strangers rubberneck at the mall. That's where the Accunet team will be your guide so that the new you is not a mortgage magic trick. That way, when you walk out of closing, it's exactly how you imagined. Get started by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. Refinancing your mortgage is like getting another nose job. This is David Wickert, president and the sommelier of simile at Accunet Mortgage, NMLS ID 255368, equal housing lender. You really do like your new face. You just know that there's another nip and tuck that would bolster your confidence that much more. That's where the Accunet team can help you again, to tell you what's possible and whether or not now is the right time to go back under the knife. Because a refinance done right should help you go through life with just a little more breathing room. Get started by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Buy one pizza today, get a second pizza free at the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford and in Oshkosh. Don't cook, don't even think about it. You don't need to clean up either. Call, order, and pick up shortly, or just walk in for your free Thursday pizza, mineshaft.restaurant.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers on their way to Houston. A 3-game weekend series against the Astros begins Friday night. How about stealing signs during that 3-game sweep of the Cards? Well, St. Louis, they believe the Brewers were doing that. Brewers president of baseball operations Matt Arnold has a different take.
If we were stealing signs, we'd probably have more homers. The reality is that, that's just not what we're doing, and we play the game a different way, and we play it tough, and we're all trying to compete and do things competitively. And obviously the Cardinals do a good job over there, and they're competitive, but to suggest that we're doing that is honestly kind of ridiculous.
Brewers lead the NL Central with a record of 32-20. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur believes tight end Tucker Kraft could be available for the start of training camp after tearing his ACL in November. Packers resume block one of organized team activities Friday morning.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We do have a new crash. This one is in Milwaukee County. It's definitely active right here. Let me take a peek. Wisconsin 175 north at the ramp from I-94 west. Right shoulder is blocked because of this new crash. I'm looking at the cameras here. I do see emergency responders already at the scene. Fire truck is at the scene as well. Quite a few people are out of their cars. Traffic is moving along okay. There's not a ton of backup right here. Looks like everybody's moving okay. I also see off on the actual exit, you've got some cars stopped as well. Not sure if they're part of this, but we do have emergency responders at the scene. We do have a brand new crash, so heads up there. That's Wisconsin 175 north at the ramp from I-94 west. Right shoulder is blocked.
Oh, nothing too crazy here in the forecast for Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky of TMJ4 News, who joins us here. Hey, Niz, this is what San Diego is like, huh? If you're a meteorologist out there.
It is, yeah, and I'm getting bored.
Yeah,
no, it's it is. It's a very quiet, comfortable pattern here. You get closer to the water, and yeah, it's a little bit cooler. But this time of year, it's not like cooler near the lake that we would get necessarily in March. As water temperatures continue to climb into the 50s, that cooler near the lake will continue to be less cooler near the lake, but still a big difference. I mean, you got 70s inland, 50s lakeside, where yesterday we had 60s lakeside and some spots close to 90 degrees inland.
I was going to ask about that. Was it West Bend or another community in that area that hit 90 yesterday?
Yeah, the day before was West Bend, and then yesterday Lake Geneva had 92. Woo! So there was a time when Milwaukee officially at the airport was 62 and Lake Geneva was 92. So that's a 30-degree spread in temperatures in the short drive down 43. I mean, when you think of it, okay, 60 and 90, yeah, that does seem pretty big. But then think of it the other way, like 60 and 30. I mean, you're talking like completely different wardrobe changes here in less than 50 miles.
So I see the little discrepancy today and tomorrow with cooler by the lake. Is there a day where that goes away? It's always interesting when that pops up during the course of the same week.
There are some days where the influence is going to be a little bit less. And really this time of year, the trick is, and what we really are striving to be better at, is to kind of outline who is going to technically be considered quote unquote inland and who's going to be near the lake. Because some days that difference could be 2 miles, and other days that difference could be you have to go all the way out to, Johnson Creek before you really feel the warmth. So what I see happening in the coming days is instead of seeing a spread of numbers that you have to go way inland to get it, that it's going to be more of like right along the lakeshore stuff. So typically that is true lake breeze where you have everybody 70s, 80s, except for, if within a mile of the lake where that lake breeze forms due to very light winds and that cold air coming off the lake replacing the warming rising air over the land.
I mean, talk about a stellar forecast here. Today, mostly sunny. Tonight, mostly clear. Friday, tomorrow, mostly sunny. Saturday, mostly sunny. Sunday, Monday, all the same. So what do you do in the weather office when every day is mostly sunny? Are you trying to, get all those last-minute school visits in, pack those in, see the kids? What are you doing? We have been busy with community stuff for sure. That has been keeping us busy, and that's something that we've been, taking seriously too. But, really, it's a number of things as far as sure, it is a lot easier and it's a lot quieter than if things were active. But now the focus starts to turn to, okay, when are we going to start to slip into actual drought conditions here? We need some rainfall. It's crazy to say after the April we've had, but farmers need a little bit of irrigation. I know my lawn needs some irrigation here. We're on track here. And it really looks like this could pan out with the forecast to go from the wettest April on record to the driest May on record. To do that in back-to-back months, I don't know if that's ever been done. Pretty crazy stuff over the last 2 months here, from the wet April to the drought conditions starting to build here come May. I don't know if you heard this earlier, but Greg was requesting that when it does indeed rain, because we know we need a little bit of it, your hours where you're asking for between midnight and 3 a.m. Is
yes,
that it, Greg?
It's perfect. Yeah, every night you can do that, really, of the calendar year, midnight and 3. That'd be perfect.
If we could somehow, maybe AI can help us out. No, I'm not even going to go down those trails as far as being able to fine-tune every bit of our rain to fall during that time. But that's right. I mean, that's the perfect rain. When you get rain, when the sun isn't also shining on the grass, and you get it during the overnight hours when most people are sleeping, that would be ideal. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing that or really any rain here in the foreseeable future. And there's some trends here I'm looking at as El Nino starts to strengthen in the Pacific that will only enhance the likelihood that we have a drier than normal summer. So as we slip into June, as we get into July, when we start to get these higher temperatures, and if we have a lack of rainfall, this could spell, some issues as we come into summer. I'm not saying it's guaranteed that we end up with a drier than normal summer, but the odds are swinging in that favor more and more, guys.
All right, good stuff, Niz. Enjoy the rest of the week. We'll check in again soon.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, guys. Yep, we'll see you.
144 on WTMJ, our weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston. After this.
Your home is about as personal as it gets, right?
We want to build a relationship with homeowners, not only educating them, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us.
Yeah, the interview goes both ways. Mm-hmm. Getting to know people while also serving them. It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
Besides that, it's just the right thing to do. See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
Hey, Greg Matzik here from my friends at Sorens Ford on Capitol Drive in Brookfield. They are experts when it comes to the sales and service of new and used Ford. Really anything on the lot, they'll help you with it. If you can't find it on their lot with that great inventory, no problem. The folks at Sorens Ford will help find it for you. Started back in 1917, the oldest running Ford dealership in the state of Wisconsin is Sorens Ford, owned by the same family for all 108 years of existence. That is amazing stuff. A family-owned business, fourth generation, now female-owned. Sorens Ford. It's off Capitol Drive in Brookfield. You want to talk about service? We had an oil change and tire rotation done by the folks at Sorens. In fact, they came to our house, picked up my wife's vehicle while she was working, brought it back to their dealership, did the stuff that we needed them to do, and brought it back to us a couple of hours later. Our to-do list was reduced thanks to Sorens Ford. That is amazing service. Check out their inventory. Connect with the fantastic folks at Sorens Ford, home of the nice guys since 1917. Visit Sorens.com. That's Sorens.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scavini. Celebrate active aging at the Enjoy Life Symposium. Join Capri Communities and adults 55 plus for a free high-energy day at the Enjoy Life Acting Aging Symposium. Live entertainment, a senior fashion show, and speakers like, get this, Melinda Myers and Chef Michael Fecker, the Ukuleles, and Milwaukee's Dancing Grannies. Capri Communities brings it all together for one unforgettable day, Wednesday, June 10th at Elmbrook Church in Brookfield. Register now at EnjoyLifeSymposium.com, and you'll be entered to win a Green Bay game day experience. That's EnjoyLifeSymposium.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
For those with a warm weather fashion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, better. Swing into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee for the $300,000 Big League Series. Just play with your rewards card over 3 months to earn entries. Here's the lineup. Leading off April, on deck May, in the hole June. All monthly entries you earn will roll into drawings on Friday, June 26th, where you could win cash, free play, or one of 3 new Toyota vehicles. It's the $300,000 Big League Series, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
1:48ish on a Thursday. It's time for our weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston from the Medical College of Wisconsin, Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County. Hey, Dr. Weston.
Hey, how's it going?
You're doing very well. Lots to cover off here on today, including an interesting report which indicates suicide remains one of the leading causes of death among U.S. adults. Community leaders, yourself, Dr. Weston, previewed a new report that examined over 20 years of data on suicide deaths across Milwaukee County. Specifically, what time period and time frame are you looking at?
Yeah, so this was a review of suicide deaths in the county from 2002 to 2024. And the idea was to more closely examine things like the demographics, the mechanisms, the location of those dying by suicide, and really compare the patterns before and after COVID. There was a big review that went right up until COVID, so we wanted to kind of complete that with an after period. So we looked at medical examiner data, along with other things, EMS data, law enforcement data, other community resources, to better understand how those trends have really changed over time. So we looked at 2,600 suicide deaths, and the end result is a collaborative report from Milwaukee County, the Medical College of Wisconsin, with support from the Greater Milwaukee Foundation.
That's a lot of data, a lot of sources. What stood out to you the most?
Yeah, so one of the biggest takeaways is that while overall suicide rates remain relatively stable, the groups most effective really have changed. And so we found notable increases in suicide deaths among men. It went from about 76% of deaths to 80%. Older adults in particular, those over age 65, went from 12% to 19%, a big increase there. And then Black residents in Milwaukee County increased from 14 up to 20%. So really a change in the demographic profile of those at risk and having deaths from suicide. And then we also saw the mechanism changed. So firearm-related suicides have really taken over. And this has been for a few years now. It's gone from 40% up to more than half of all suicide deaths in Milwaukee County are firearm-related.
So what does this mean for Milwaukee County's prevention efforts, Dr. Weston, all of this data?
Yeah, I mean, we know that suicide prevention requires a multifaceted approach. These strategies are not one-size-fits-all, and this data shows that. We know that communities need culturally responsive mental health support, tailored community outreach efforts, and really increased focus, especially in this case, on firearm safety and early intervention. It also highlights that many suicides happen at home, meaning that prevention has to extend beyond hospitals and clinics into schools, workplaces, neighborhoods to really have an effect and change these sort of dynamics that we're seeing.
We're talking with Dr. Ben Weston for a weekly wellness check. NASCAR champion Kyle Busch passed away last week from what we now know was severe pneumonia that led to sepsis. This was so sudden. How does this happen? Can you dive into what sepsis is?
Yeah, so sepsis is when the body kind of overreacts to an infection. And instead of just fighting that infection, the immune system starts actually damaging healthy tissue and organs in the body as well. Now, the thing that's tough about sepsis is it can develop really quickly. And it can lead to organ failure, to shock, which is a drop in your blood pressure, and death if not treated right away. And in fact, each year about 1.7 million U.S. adults and more than 18,000 children develop sepsis. It's one of the leading causes of death in hospitals and one of the main reasons why people get readmitted to the hospital. In fact, 1 out of every 3 adults in the U.S. who dies in a hospital had sepsis at some point during that hospitalization.
Wow. So cause and warning signs, Dr. Weston, what do you have to look out for here?
Yeah, it's really caused by bacterial infections in the bloodstream. That's the most common cause of sepsis. But it can start with an infection like a pneumonia, like a urinary tract infection that can then migrate into the bloodstream. Most cases of sepsis start before a patient gets in the hospital, so there are warning signs to watch for. Some of them are your typical, fever, things like that, but it can be high or low temperature, trouble breathing, shortness of breath, shaking, chills, confusion, disorientation, and then vital sign changes, a higher heart rate, a lower blood pressure. These are some of the signs we really watch for when people come in with an infection in the emergency department.
Kyle Busch died, but you can be treated if you develop sepsis. What are the details there?
Yeah, so treatment includes antibiotics, IV fluids, and then other supportive things like oxygen, medications to support blood pressure. But the key here is speed, and that's something we've learned over years and really emphasize in the hospital is recognizing sepsis early and getting treatment started as early as possible. The earlier that medical care starts, the better the chances of recovery.
Another big story here in the state of Wisconsin, Dr. Weston, the Department of Health Services confirmed the state's first Mpox case of 2026. In fact, multiple cases identified in southeastern Wisconsin, also in northern Wisconsin. Just a reminder here, what is Mpox? How serious is this?
Yeah, so Mpox, or formerly known as monkeypox, it's a viral infection. It spreads through close contact with someone who's infected. Now, that can include contact with rashes, with scabs, with body fluids, as well as kind of face-to-face or intimate contact. Even touching fabrics and objects that were exposed to the virus can transmit it. Now, while virus cases in the U.S. are relatively low, it is something we continue to monitor closely. And as of early May, there are over 500 cases in the United States. So it's not overwhelmingly unusual that we have a case, but it is our first for this year.
What are the most common symptoms people should look out for?
Yeah, the most noticeable sign and really specific sign is that Mpox rash. So it's within about 3 weeks of exposure. This rash usually starts as kind of flat red bumps. They can become painful. They can kind of become these raised fluid-filled blisters that eventually scab over and heal within a few weeks. Those are really the telltale sign, but people can develop flu-like symptoms too, fever, chills, headache, all that kind of stuff as well. But that rash is really what you want to look out for.
Well, alert, right? Because here in the state of Wisconsin, given yesterday's announcement, how concerned should people in the state be about Mpox?
Yeah, I mean, right now the overall risk in Wisconsin and really across the United States is quite low. But especially for those who are high risk, prevention and awareness is still important. So it does disproportionately affect men who have sex with men, but the virus can be spread in other populations as well through close physical contact. So for people who are at high risk, whether it's a lifestyle reason you're at high risk or maybe your job puts you at high risk, there is a vaccine available. And it's been shown to be highly effective, about 80% effective at preventing infection. But otherwise, it's basic prevention, washing your hands frequently, all the stuff that is important to do in general hygiene, but then also avoiding direct contact with someone who has a rash or other Mpox symptoms, practicing safe sex, disinfecting commonly touched surfaces, avoiding contact with infected animals. Sometimes animals can spread this in a farm setting as well. So most people who are at risk would be aware they're at risk and be able to take these sort of preventative measures.
Always great information from Dr. Ben Weston, Associate Professor of Emergency Medicine at the Medical College of Wisconsin and Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County. Appreciate it, Dr. Weston. We'll do it again next week.
Thanks, Dr. Weston.
Have a good week.
You too. It's coming up on 156 here on WTMJ. 2 o'clock headlines coming up.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
It's so good, it's still going on. It's the Memorial Day mattress sale at Steinhoffel's. Hey everyone, it's Jessica Ty. This is the best time to save on all the leading brands and take advantage of Steinhoffel's 60-month 0% financing. Save up to $1,000 on Tempur-Pedic and Beautyrest Split King adjustable base sets, known for comfort, innovation, and support. Plus, Helix Sleep's award-winning mattresses are now exclusively at Steinhoffel's. Try in store and save today. Shop the Memorial Day mattress sale. Steinhoffel's, Wisconsin's mattress leader.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
Everyone needs a plumber in their contacts list, and I've got yours, Vince Vitrano here. It's Horner Plumbing. We had a big job on the Vitrano home, needed to move the water hookups for the washer dryer and refrigerator, and we turned to the trusted experts for more than 50 years in Southeast Wisconsin, Horner Plumbing. CJ and Kaylee, they did a great job at the house. All the follow-up with Horner was amazing, great work, and outstanding customer service. Residential, commercial, and new construction, HornerPlumbing.com. Have it in your contact list, because when it's a plumbing emergency, that is not the time you want to start your search. I've got your plumber. Full-service plumbing, water heater repairs and installs, drain cleaning, garbage disposals, bathroom and kitchen renovations. Full-service plumbing. Free quotes and upfront pricing means no surprises. You want a deal? Tell them Vinny sent you, and Horner Plumbing will knock $50 off that first service. Get started now at Horner Plumbing. That's HornerPlumbing.com.
Hey, sounds good, Vinny. Hey, looking forward to this. I'll be there this Saturday. The Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls, right off Silver Springs, celebrating their 5th anniversary party. It's a really unique idea that was started about 5 years ago, merges doggy daycare, boarding, and grooming services, along with a beautiful indoor-outdoor tavern and dog park. It really is the best of all worlds here if you're a dog owner and lover. They've turned an incredible and awesome idea into a wonderful community for dogs and dog lovers. And they're having a party on Saturday to celebrate. May 30th, noon to 5, I'll be hanging out at the Hounds and Tap. I'm a frequent visitor. There'll be live music, there'll be food, free beer tastings, giveaways, raffle items supporting Haws, and other local animals in need. Of course, your dogs are invited as well. If you've not checked out the incredible place, the Hounds and Tap, this is a great opportunity to support a wonderful cause, a wonderful business. Leah and her team at the Hounds and Tap, top-tier services, and a great place to hang. Celebrate 5 years of the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls on Saturday. Hope to see you there, May 30th from noon to 5.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
It happens without warning. And when it's a truck crash, everything changes. Call Gruber Law Offices and let us protect your rights. We've got the knowledge, skills, and resources to win. One call, that's all.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 2:01. I'm Greg Mansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, May 28th. Your top story, the Justice Department's latest investigation into accusations against the president.
I'm Jessica Ty. If you see someone stealing in a store, do you know what to do?
Mostly clear tonight at a low of 49 after an afternoon high of 72 degrees. A little cooler near the lake. Sunny on Friday, high of 84, 76 near Lake Michigan. 65 and sunny in Milwaukee at 2:01. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, the Justice Department opens a criminal investigation into E. Jean Carroll, the woman who won civil judgments against President Trump for sexual abuse and defamation. ABC's Mary Bruce explains.
The president has long maintained his innocence.
But as far as I know, I never met her. I never touched her. I would have had no interest in meeting her in any way, shape, or form.
Earlier this month, Trump won a delay in another defamation case in which he was ordered to pay Carroll more than $83 million for defaming her by calling her a liar and her claim a hoax.
Carroll was awarded a $5 million civil judgment in 2023 that found the president liable for sexually abusing her in a department store dressing room in the mid-90s and defaming her.
The U.S. Coast Guard confirms it has new GPS information and is conducting a new search for the body of Lynette Hooker. Hooker is the Michigan woman reported missing by her husband in the Bahamas under mysterious circumstances. News Nation's Mills Hayes.
This new GPS data shows that Brian's device stopped in the Sea of Abaco before returning. And there are witness reports that they heard a loud splash near the sailboat around 9:30 that night. The U.S. Coast Guard has had their sailboat for the last 2 weeks. And one cold case investigator tells me that GPS data from that boat will also be key too.
Authorities detained Brian Hooker for questioning, but later released him without charges.
Closer to home, an early morning apartment fire in Greenfield forces several people out.
Message received 922 with Allerton Ave for fire in the bedroom from the water heater. There are flames showing.
That audio courtesy of Broadcastify. Firefighters called to the Westfield apartment near 92nd and Allerton around 2:45 this morning. Crews say the fire was contained to one room. Investigators are trying to pinpoint the cause. No one was hurt.
An inmate who escaped the Kenosha Correctional Center is headed to trial.
Jonathan Taylor is charged with felony escape after he allegedly broke out of the jail and went on the run for over a week. Investigators say he was in a holding cell while waiting to be transferred to the Racine Correctional Institute when he was able to reach his hand through the food port and unlock the door, then run out of the building. Court records show Taylor has a criminal history of battery, burglary, domestic abuse, and fleeing an officer dating back to 2012. He's due back in court in July. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Well, what should you do if you see someone trying to steal from a store? Alexis Haynes is a loss prevention professional and on the board for the Wisconsin Organized Retail Crime Association, telling us here on Midday the best thing you can do is alert store employees.
Even if they get away, there are things like license plate readers, facial recognition, that we can utilize to then hold that person accountable. But I would really let the store know because they track those things. That helps us identify, not necessarily go after, but do some research on and see if we can have some accountability brought to that person.
Wisconsin recently passed legislation to combine separate thefts by the same person into a more serious felony charge. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow a little off today, down about 40 points at 50,597. The Nasdaq is thriving, up about 240 points at 26,910. And the S&P is up about 40 at 7560. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
We have an update on Packers tight end Tucker Kraft. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:05.
From sliding framed, semi-frameless, or frameless glass shower doors, to heavy all-glass custom enclosures that can be built to fit any opening, at Less's Glass, we cover all the bases. But our biggest strength isn't only our selection. It's in our installation experience. We've been around nearly 40 years, and you only last that long if your installers leave the job the way your customers expect it to be left. Other places can sell you a glass shower enclosure, and some of those big guys may even be able to do it for a little cheaper. But the question you need to ask yourself is, will the job be done right? So remember, paying for quality only hurts once, but it does feel good when you get what you expect. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers have won 15 of its last 19 games, 32-20, heading to Houston for a 3-game series with the Astros beginning Friday night. Meanwhile, head coach Matt LaFleur with an update on tight end Tucker Kraft, who tore his ACL in November.
Tuck looks great right now. You want him out there. He looks so good. You want to put him out there, but certainly we're still early in that process, and hopefully he'll be ready to go either by training camp or early in training camp.
Packers wrap up block 1 of organized team activities on Friday, and the Packers also finalized the preseason schedule featuring 2 road games and 1 at Lambeau. Home game will be August 28th against the Arizona Cardinals.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We are still dealing with this crash in Milwaukee County, Wisconsin, 175 north at the ramp from I-94 west. That's 175 north at the ramp from I-94 west. Right shoulder is blocked because of this crash. There was a fire truck out there earlier. That has since left, but emergency responders are still at the scene, so it is definitely still active. Heads up if you're traveling that way. We also have our delays in our construction zones on 94 eastbound and westbound around the ballpark. Also 4145 northbound and southbound. And in the midst of that, in the Butler area, 4145 south, just a little bit beyond the ramp from Hampton Avenue, right shoulder is blocked because of a vehicle that's broken down. So that's just making the delays in the construction zone a little bit heavier.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford needs line cooks and dishwashers. You'll make real money. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Contact the Mineshaft today and start next week.
74 your high inland today, a little cooler near the lake, overnight low 49. Sunny and warm on Friday, 84 inland, 76 near the lake. Saturday, sunny, 74 inland, 68 near the lake. We're cooler by the lake really through the weekend and into Monday. 77 on Sunday inland, 73 closer to Lake Michigan, 80 and sunny on Monday, 75 near the lake. 66 and sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 210.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Thursday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. I must admit, I'm a little off here. The Memorial Day, having off on that Monday has sort of thrown me off, and then we had no show yesterday because of Brewers baseball. Somebody asked me what day it was today, and I very quickly said it's Tuesday.
Oh, oops.
Right? I mean, we are closer to the weekend, which is a good thing, but in my head it was Tuesday. I'm glad it's not.
Working for the weekend, Greg. It's Thursday.
It's 2:10.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1. Today, Kohl's is reporting its best comparable sales growth in 4 years, even as shoppers pull back on spending. Sales slipped less than 2% in the first quarter. The Menominee Falls-based retailer points to lower inventory levels and tighter expense control. Kohl's CEO Michael Bender told CNBC the quarter marked the company knocking on the door of growth. It is not all sunny, though. Kohl's saw revenue decline. This looks like hope for Kohl's, though, a local company that, as you know, has been struggling in recent years. Kohl's operates more than 1,000 stores across the country, including one just steps away here in downtown Milwaukee, steps away from us. It remains one of Wisconsin's largest publicly traded retailers. And I was looking at what Kohl's has already done and what the company is still looking to do. Now, a lot of this is inside baseball, so I won't get into the company stuff. But as a shopper, some things that you might want to know. Kohl's made merchandising and pricing changes aimed at boosting sales. They closed weaker performing stores last year and shifted focus to improving the remaining locations. They increased digital traffic and online sales momentum, and they started simplifying store operations and layouts to make shopping easier. Some things Kohl's still plans to do. They plan to add more inventory to the stores, because I guess customers were complaining that they couldn't find the products they wanted. And they're going to introduce more newness in merchandise, including things like Korean skincare, which is very popular these days, and some trending products as well. And I remember, I don't know if it was a few months back or a year ago, but we were talking about the deal bars that they were adding.
Yes, I was just going to bring that up. Yep.
So they're kind of like these impulse displays with products priced under $10. It really reminded me at the time when it was first announced of Target, when you first walk in and there's, these very inexpensive products, but things that you just kind of want to eye, and maybe it would be an impulse buy. So they're going to expand initiative like deals bars.
They've had great partnerships and strategic partnerships over the years, including Sephora and Amazon. Those are big deals. You could return something at Amazon. Didn't matter if you bought it you bought it on Amazon, you could return it at Kohl's. So it just got you into the store and got you browsing around a little bit. I still think Kohl's has some work to do when it comes to the speed of shipping, getting things that you order to your house. I've talked to friends who have worked at Kohl's, and they said it's still something that they're working on, but they know it's an issue, and they are working on it. They consistently put forth the effort. I root for Kohl's to the end, right? It's just a great local brand. You want to see it thrive, but they're rolling through challenges just like anybody in retail.
Well, and Bender says we are not done yet. He said we love where things are headed, but we know we still have a lot of work ahead of us.
Number 2, the U.S. Coast Guard confirms it has new GPS information and is conducting a new search for the body of Lynette Hooker. Remember the story? The Michigan woman reported missing under rather mysterious circumstances by her husband, Brian. They were together on a boat in the Bahamas. News Nation's Mills Hayes has more.
This new GPS data shows that Brian's device stopped in the Sea of Abaco before returning, and there are witness reports that they heard a loud splash near the sailboat around 9:30 that night. The U.S. Coast Guard has had their sailboat for the last 2 weeks, and one cold case investigator tells me that GPS data from that boat will also be key too.
Authorities initially detained Hooker for questioning, but later released him without charges. In fact, it was not Brian Hooker's daughter, it was Lynette Hooker's daughter, so stepdaughter of Brian Hooker, who alerted authorities and said, hey, wait a minute now here. They've not had the best relationship over the last several years. I urge you to keep looking. As Hooker made his way back to the United States, the daughter ended up flying down to the Bahamas and trying to piece things together with law enforcement down there. But as we know, Brian Hooker is back in the United States. Lynette still missing. I'm not sure exactly where the daughter is, but the case continues.
Yeah, investigators want to find that body.
It is 2:14.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas, also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Visit 1-800-SPASale.com.
Hey, step up to the plate and take a shot at winning some major prizes in the $300,000 Big League Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. Now through June, you could win a share of $300,000 in prizes at Potawatomi. All monthly promo entries go to the grand finale drawing. That'll be June 26th. You'll get triple the entries during Brewers home games. You can score one of 3 all-new Toyota vehicles, again, only at Potawatomi. Hang out, watch some games at the Sportsbook. 2,000 square foot video wall, incredible restaurant, great drink specials. You'll love hanging out there with your friends, your family, you name it. It's Potawatomi. More info online, must be 21 years or older and a rewards member to play.
Now that the weather is becoming wonderful, let's think less work, more play. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited replace that deck, build the outdoor kitchen, add a covered structure. How about an automated pergola with automated screens? Let us build a space for you that you'll never have to paint. All you need to do is play, enjoy, live. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. The showroom is amazing, perfect to start your journey. Less work, more play, Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Outdoor Living Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
74 degrees inland, 66 near Lake Michigan. Beautiful day here. Nice sunny skies, comfortable temperatures. Overnight low 49. We warm up tomorrow inland with a high of 84, 75 near the lake. Part of a beautiful stretch of weather here. We are sunny throughout the weekend, even into Monday with a high of 80. 66 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee. It's 217.
Law does not allow a living person to be put on U.S. currency. But just today, the Treasury Secretary said his department has to be ready for possible legislation from Congress to allow President Trump's face on a $250 bill.
Right now, there is proposed legislation that in front of the House, in front of the Senate, to change the first requirement so that a living person, Donald J. Trump, could be on a $250 bill.
So this legislation was introduced by Republican Representative Joe Wilson of South Carolina, and it would direct the department's Bureau of Engraving and Printing to put President Trump's face on the new bill to mark the 250th anniversary of the nation's founding. So it's not just like President Trump was like, yeah, I'd like to have a $250 bill. 2 of those, $500, here you go. He said that the Treasury Secretary said he didn't see anything wrong with having President Trump on the currency. Some people are saying otherwise.
Well, it's also a matter of practicality. Do you need a $250 bill in an increasingly cashless society? They had larger denominations back in the 60s. Remember talking to my dad about this? I was like, well, why did they go away? Well, people didn't use it. Okay, well, that was 100 years ago, it felt like. Not quite that long, but you get what I'm getting at. It's 2026. Things are more expensive. There's probably more things that cost $100 or more now than ever before. So maybe there is more of a practical need, but the cashless world we live in, I don't know that there's really enough juice to warrant a $250 bill, regardless of who is on it, right? Do you need that in society?
Do you need it? Nah, probably not. I bet there are some people right now using AI to put their faces on bills and just to see what it would look like.
Have you done that?
No,
Okay, we can do it for you.
I have not done that.
Gina?
I have not, but I think people are doing that. And here's the thing.
Do 500, please. Jessica?
That's not a joke either, because Representative Wilson's congressional office actually used AI as well, and they posted a picture, like an AI concept artwork of what a $250 bill featuring President Trump would look like.
Okay. I mean, I get why he would want this, right? President Trump is a big legacy guy, right? He wants to go down as the greatest president ever. He wants to be known. 200 years from now, people look back on President Donald Trump, and if you're on money, you're definitely known. Can you name the presidents that are on the other bills, right? It's among the most popular ever, the most notable ever.
I think it was back in October, too, that the department said it was working on a $1 coin featuring the president's image to mark the 250th anniversary. I don't know where that has gone, if anything, but I wouldn't mind a $1 coin, I'll tell you that.
Well, aren't those still in circulation? Those Sacagawea dollars, those gold dollar coins?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
I still have a bunch. I don't know if they're widely in circulation, but those were a thing. It was the Sacagawea gold coin. It mixed in. It looked beautiful next to the other coins. I would argue that our money could use a little bit of an overhaul, so I'm not against the idea of a $250 bill.
What do you want overhauled? Like, what do you want changed?
Plain. I feel like our money's too plain.
Oh, you want colors on it, like overseas?
They've made adjustments here, right? They've kind of moved in the right direction, especially with the $100 bill. I think even the $50 bill. But we have relatives from Australia. Their money is beautiful. It's gorgeous, right? It's so beautiful looking. That would be fun to play with.
Okay. I think a lot of the changes that they've made, too, at least in recent years, have been so people, because of counterfeit money.
Sure.
Trying to make it so people can't just go in and give that fake bill.
Well, the penny is on its way out. Maybe the $250 bill will be on its way in. I'm still a big fan of the $2 bill. I like the $2 bill.
Penny, for your thoughts.
It's 2:21 on WTMJ. Coming up in a couple of minutes, Gina will have Jessica's image on a $500 bill. We'll work at it.
Wet basements and foundation problems? For over 20 years, Accurate has been the fix-it show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing. Whether it's cracked walls, drain tile issues, or water in your basement, they've got you covered. Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Call Accurate Basement Repair today at 414-744-6900 or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com. They're not just good, they're accurate.
Well, the story of Horicon Bank is an unbelievable story. It really is a Wisconsin success story. Horicon Bank first opened its doors in 1896, and they are still going strong today. That single branch has turned into multiple branches and in some new areas as well. Horicon Bank today, doors are opening in New Berlin and Wauwatosa, Menominee Falls, Grafton, West Bend. Of course, in Horicon and neighboring areas, it's Horicon Bank, where service and products go hand in hand. Top-notch service, top-notch products. They work together. Horicon Bank knows you and your business. They want to get that off the ground and keep it running, meeting its cash flow needs and exceeding expectations. Horicon Bank can help get you started. Together, doing good for 130 years. Wonderful people at Horicon Bank. Member FDIC.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. You know, it's been more than 3 years since we got our garage door from J.D. Griffiths, and it still looks brand new. I'm telling you, it's quiet, it's smooth, and honestly, I didn't realize how much of a difference a quality door would make until we upgraded. J.D. Griffiths, they've been doing it for decades. They're local, trusted, and they handle everything. Try the website, jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ. Schedule your free consultation from J.D. Griffiths. An everyday hero is when we on Wisconsin's Morning News celebrate an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to New Zealand. Steve Ramthaney was on a bike ride with his friends. You know, the groups that ride around, hit the trails, hit the roadways. Well, the New Zealand Herald says Steve wasn't feeling the best, so he decided, yep, time to go home. Just not feeling well. So he broke off from the group and headed back to his house. As he approached a hill, he started pedaling up hard, and that's when he lost consciousness. He was out. Firefighters called to the scene, started working on him. After 3 shocks, they were finally able to regain a pulse for Steve. He was taken to the hospital and later would get a stent, and now weeks later is doing okay. Here's what's fascinating about this story. When crews first arrived, they say they found a woman performing CPR on Steve. This woman just so happened to find him on the side of the road and immediately started doing compressions. Complete stranger. She didn't stand there and pull out a phone and wait for someone else to help. She just went for it. The fire department says that stranger saved Steve's life. The actions of the woman who was first on the scene made a massive difference to Steve's outcome, says the fire department. His wife tells the New Zealand Herald they would love to meet this woman, and it'd be nice if she knew what she did. Well, the fire department later has updated the story, saying that they were able to connect. The woman was emotional to hear that she had helped save Steve's life, and she's delighted to hear the outcome. Well, we are delighted for you, stranger lady. You are an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Always a great story, as told by WTMJ's Eric Bilstead. We've got about a half hour left here in the program. Reminder, no Brewers baseball tonight after that 3-game sweep of the Cardinals. They are off to Houston, where a 3-game weekend series with the Astros begins on Friday. Great homestand here for the Brewers. They are on a roll. It's 2:26 on WTMJ. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Siding Unlimited. It is siding and a whole lot more. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You'll find shows, all sorts of shows and segments and interviews, hour by hour. Gina's got it populated for you, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. And hop into our studio here, the final half hour of the show, or any day. Our YouTube page is up and running and streaming Wisconsin's Midday News.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368. This is Brian Wickert here with my son David, Accunet's president and chief metaphor officer. What do you have for us this time?
Dad, for a lot of sellers, selling their home is like handing over a family photo album. Every room in that house has a birthday memory or a trombone lesson or that last Mother's Day brunch before the kids moved out. The seller isn't just transferring a deed, they're saying farewell to a chapter of their life.
So buyers need to walk through the front door with that in mind.
Absolutely. It's not just a financial transaction. It's a transfer of trust. Sellers and their agents are looking to say yes to the buyer who is strong enough and safe enough to make good on their offer.
So what does that look like in practice?
It looks like a rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval and a thoughtfully crafted offer that tells the seller, I will show up.
Because when the seller is deciding who will get the keys and the metaphorical family photo album,
you want them to feel the best about handing them to you.
Get started with your rock-solid pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at Accunet.com.
Well, I saw another Matrix basement finishing truck in our subdivision yesterday, and I thought, well, I hope they have the same experience we had with finishing our lower level. Greg Matzik here. Matrix did our lower level, and it is much more than just a basement right now. Unbelievable transformation thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing. And it started with a free design consultation, no obligation. Josh came out from Matrix. We walked through the space that we had been staring at for years, having lived in our house, and Josh took a look at it and had some interesting ideas, stuff we hadn't thought about. He put his design touch to use, put it to paper, eventually 3D renderings, and we were off and running with Matrix Basement Finishing. We never had to leave the house. Matrix comes to you for that design consultation, picking out finished materials, plan review, all of that stuff. They only do basements. This is their specialty. Matrix Basement Finishing. Not trying to finish a house or a subdivision, anything like that. That keeps their schedule nice and tight. It was about an 11-week process for us from the first delivery to that final punch list. Matrix Basement Finishing made the process easy for us, and now we've got a level that we used to have parties and have friends over and watch the game, family get-togethers, hosting for the holidays, making memories in that lower level. It's transformed our house. It's now the space for us, thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing. Lock them in. No payments till 2028 with Matrix. Check out my social media pages. You can see pictures of the before and after. Connect with me, and I'll connect you personally with Matrix Basement Finishing.
Enjoy the Fox and Hounds restaurant's fabulous all-you-can-eat fish fry. It's one of the best. The magnificent Sunday brunch is also all-you-can-eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat free. Call and reserve foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Classic feeling. Your home is failing. Windows are old, roof looks horrible, siding is distressed. Even your front door fights you on everything. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I will be on the Fix-It Show this Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. 1 hour where you get to call in and ask about your failing home and how the professionals at Siding Unlimited can help you. Can't wait until Saturday? Bring your pictures to our Siding Unlimited showroom and let's chat. Start your home updating journey with Siding Unlimited at sidingunlimited.com.
Amazon Business. Discover smart business buying, where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, filming himself stealing political yard signs.
I'm Jessica Ty. Free meals for kids this summer.
Sunny today, clear tonight. A low of 49 degrees after an afternoon high of 74 inland. 84 your high inland on Friday.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. American and Iranian negotiators believe they have arrived at a draft agreement to formally extend the ceasefire and gradually open the Strait of Hormuz. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, though, telling reporters it still needs final approval from President Trump and Iran's supreme leader. ABC's Karen Travers has more.
All of these things, of course, have been part of the discussions for weeks right now, and Bessent would not say why this agreement might be the one that pushes it over the finish line and does reach that final conclusion, at least to reopen things for 60 days for further negotiations.
The U.S. economy facing headwinds due to the war with Iran. The Commerce Department showing inflation is up to levels not seen in 3 years. Another report by the New York Fed highlights what analysts call a K-shaped economy. The Trump administration setting up a 50-bed facility in Kenya for any Americans who will face quarantine due to the ongoing Ebola outbreak. That facility could open tomorrow. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 2:31. An independent candidate for Wisconsin governor films himself stealing political yard signs.
I'll have that. Multiple videos posted by Carlos Lamar Dixon show him taking yard signs for both gubernatorial candidate Francesca Hong and Assemblyman Ryan Clancy and putting them in his car. The act is a violation of state law, though neither campaign plans to file criminal charges. Dixon says he takes issue with the Democratic Socialists of America's original ties to Zionism, which the party has since rescinded.
Whether people agree with my methods or not, at least now we're having a conversation.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Decision Wisconsin. Congressman Tom Tiffany is standing by his criticism of the failed Wisconsin budget surplus deal. The leading Republican candidate for governor on WTMJ's Point Taken.
But I would have negotiated a different deal. I would have made sure that we ended the 400-year property tax increase, and I would have returned all of the surplus to the people of the state of Wisconsin.
The proposal backed by Governor Tony Evers and Republican leaders included rebate checks, property tax relief, and more funding for special education. It failed in the state Senate this month. A recent Marquette Law School poll found broad public support for the plan across party lines.
A big vote tonight for MPS. Board members will consider the district's $1.6 billion budget proposal.
Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius says the plan invests in students and addresses a nearly $50 million budget gap.
These budget decisions are among the hardest in my almost 40-year career. Yet in the end, this is a student-first budget that recognizes the tremendous value of our employees.
The proposal adds classroom positions while cutting administrative jobs, but some teachers remain unhappy with the budget, especially over staggered pay raises they say don't go far enough.
If I don't get a full cost of living, I don't know if I can afford to come back to MPS next school year.
Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A nutrition program will provide free summer meals for youth in low-income areas across Wisconsin.
The Wisconsin Department of Instruction is offering 3 million meals and snacks at over 900 locations to children and teens who depend on school lunch service for food. The Summer Food Service Program offers the meals to all children and teens 18 and younger in eligible areas. To find a location, call 211. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
And the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors unanimously approves a joint city task force to reduce food deserts. Milwaukee County Supervisor Deanna Alexander.
There's a reason that some neighborhoods may have things locked up and, you can't get to, deodorant or the baby food or whatnot, and other neighborhoods don't. And for right or wrong, it means that a lot of our neighborhoods are going downhill.
The task force will focus on long-term solutions to improve access to affordable and healthy foods across the county.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the Memorial Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradington Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradington Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian designed recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases. And it's free. Stop in today and save during our Memorial Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield, Highway 100 in Greenfield, or our downtown Mattress Factory showroom.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavini. Celebrate active aging at the Enjoy Life Symposium. Join Capri communities and adults 55 plus for a free high-energy day at the Enjoy Life Acting Aging Symposium. Live entertainment, a senior fashion show, and speakers like, get this, Melinda Myers and Chef Michael Fecker, the Ukuleles, and Milwaukee's Dancing Grannies. Capri Communities brings it all together for one unforgettable day, Wednesday, June 10th at Elmbrook Church in Brookfield. Register now at EnjoyLifeSymposium.com, and you'll be entered to win a Green Bay game day experience. That's EnjoyLifeSymposium.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. The Brewers travel to Houston for a 3-game weekend series with the Astros beginning Friday night. Were the Brewers stealing signs during that 3-game sweep with the Cardinals? That's what the St. Louis clubhouse believes. Not so much for Brewers president of baseball operations, Matt Arnold.
If we were stealing signs, we'd probably have more homers. The reality is that, that's just not what we're doing. And we play the game a different way, and we play it tough, and we're all trying to compete and do things, competitively. And obviously the Cardinals do a good job over there, and they're competitive. But to suggest that we're doing that is honestly kind of ridiculous.
Brewers lead the NL Central with a record of 32-20. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur believes tight end Tucker Kraft could be available for the start of training camp after tearing his ACL in November. It's expected Micah Parsons will miss the first few games of the regular season. And former Pewaukee High School standout Milan Momcilovic is withdrawing his name for the NBA draft. He instantly becomes the top target in the transfer portal after playing 3 seasons at Iowa State.
Let's take you to the roads right now. We don't have any crashes. The last crash we had has now cleared. Great news there. We do have our typical delays in the construction zones. Also a handful of disabled vehicles. Most are not causing any problems, but I do want to let you know about this one because it's in a busy spot. It's also in a construction zone. 4394 South, very close to the ramp from Beecher Street. Right shoulder is blocked right now. There's a car that's broken down, little white car broken down, and traffic is just creeping along right next to it. So there is a bit of a delay right there. 4394 South near Beecher Street.
Plenty of sunshine today, high 74 inland, 66 degrees near Lake Michigan, overnight low 49. Tomorrow, a little warm up, 84, the high inland, 75 closer to the lake. Plenty of sunshine over the next several days. It's 65 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 2:38. Brazen, calculated, and predatory. Words the Los Angeles District Attorney is using to describe a series of recent burglaries targeting homes in affluent areas. If it sounds familiar, well, similar burglaries have occurred over the past 18 months in several states, including right here in Wisconsin. Calculated thefts from high-income professional athletes with a propensity to spend money on luxury items. Bucks forward Bobby Portis, his home targeted as the Bucks were playing a game at Fiserv Forum. This is all very organized and very calculated. Former FBI agent and ABC crime and terrorism expert Brad Garrett joins us to fill in some blanks and shed some light. Brad, it's become clear these burglaries, they're not copycat crimes, but where do the thieves come from and how do they get into the country?
So I think the following occurs based on what law enforcement has said in the past is that individuals who tend to be from South American countries, like let's say Peru, get a visa to come to the U.S., like a tourist visa or some other type of temporary visa. But they come here with the intention of connecting to whomever is organizing these home burglaries. And that's what they end up doing for the days or the few weeks that they're here. They commit X number of burglaries And we're talking, Greg, about using Wi-Fi jammers, using pre-surveillance, using their own surveillance cameras. In other words, like a surveillance camera that can watch your house if you were the target, your comings and goings, how many people live there, do they have a dog, a number of things you can pick up just observing what goes, movements in or around the house. And then at some point, they decide the best time to burglarize the house. Once they successfully get in, they tend to steal high dollar items like Rolex watches, rings, things that you could get a lot of money for potentially, but also easily carry. Off they go, and then I think there's a number of places potentially they could then move the stolen items. There are people that are professional resellers. In previous cases, LAPD and LASO have actually found some of these warehouses that are just full of stolen property. And then the people figure out a way to fence it to whatever entity in the country, or some of it gets shipped back overseas. And because you have a steady flow, I think, of these folks, obviously some get arrested. In LA, I think 7 of them were arrested. I'm going to guess there's just another wave of folks behind them that jump into this scenario.
And that's what I was wondering. When you say waves, I'm curious, are we talking about loose copycats, or are these really sophisticated international crime networks where everyone's kind of connected?
Well, it's a good question. Do I think that this is like a level of a cartel? I don't know. But clearly, if you are a person in a city, let's say in Peru, and your neighbor comes to the U.S., is involved in some burglaries, ships the money back to Peru, and then tells you about it, then, there's a word of mouth aspect of that. Do they actually go and recruit? I don't know. All I can say is that based on the number of burglaries, like in your city, other cities that tend to fit the same profile, again, the 7 people that got arrested in L.A. probably aren't involved in any of these other cases we've talked about, because they either have gone back to their home country or they got caught and they're probably in jail. But I think the coordination comes from the people that are here on the ground, wherever here is. In this particular story we're talking about, it would be Los Angeles, as to who the connectors are. There's got to be people that sort of figure out what are the better houses to hit. They clearly have to figure out what to do with the stolen property once they have it, because they need to move it quickly. So all of that would take, at the very least, a local network.
So, Brad, Milwaukee felt very random in this in 2024 when the Bucks were playing a game. Milwaukee, okay. Well, then Ohio, and then Kansas City. Right. At what point does a string of local burglaries in these individual cities trigger federal involvement?
So I think fairly quickly now. The case in L.A., it's my understanding that that's a task force, and it probably has feds on it, that when you have a rash of burglaries, then you put the notice out to various other departments and agencies. And so I think the connective factor between, let's say, LAPD and, in some other city where they've had these burglaries, and to see if there is a common theme. In other words, just because a house gets hit in L.A. doesn't mean that the stolen property stays in L.A. Does it go to someplace else? Is there more of a regional clearing location? I have no idea, but it's the things that you would look for if you were investigating this case, because you're actually looking for some connection. Maybe not the individuals that have come from let's say Peru or some other country, but you're looking for the connection of those folks to whomever they're dealing with, which may be less transient.
And some of the things these groups are stealing, I mean, the case of our local guy, Buck star Bobby Portis, who we all love here, but I'm honestly surprised that somebody targeted him specifically when you think about all the stars around. But in that case, his 2021 NBA championship ring was stolen. I mean, that's a ring that, if that's being sold, hey, something's up. So that had... That had green, and it was a green and silver ring, and it had 400 diamonds. It was estimated at a value of $1 million. So are they just busting that ring up and selling the diamonds then?
Well, maybe, or they may have a collector. There are wealthy people that would love to probably have that ring.
Even stolen.
And, because they're not going to wear it. They're just going to have it. And so does that occur? I think so. I mean, are some things stolen and then they're maybe advertised in in the dark market, the black market of, this is Bobby Portis's ring, it's high, there's one of a kind would be I suppose the right answer. There may be people out there interested in that are willing to take the risk to buy something like that.
So, Brad, the things you mentioned sound very sophisticated in how the homes are being surveilled. Technology is only increasing. So how can affluent homeowners and neighborhood watch groups best protect themselves in 2026?
It's a combination. I'm glad you brought up neighborhood watch groups because this is kind of a collective thing that you have to sort of take care of each other and be more aware of movements, surroundings, vehicles that aren't normally in the neighborhood, etc. And communicate. One of the problems with big homes, big property is it doesn't have the connective tissue of like living in a city where the houses are connected, or you live in an apartment building where you see people interact. So there may have to be some effort here. But things like, do you have a wireless security system? In other words, do you have cameras? Do you have motion sensors? Do you have lights that turn off and on through movement or activity that are all wireless? If they are, they're not going to work if the folks have a Wi-Fi jammer. So things like hardwiring, again, more expensive, more intrusive on your house, but it's things like that. Making sure that you actually use the system, whether you're home or not at home, that all your windows are secure. Obviously you can even put devices on each window if it gets popped when the system's on that will set an alarm off. Many experts would suggest that you have a dog, big or small, that will bark because burglars don't want to deal with dogs. So it's a combination of that. I could go on for 15 minutes, but there's a number of things that can be done to sort of, this is a crime term, target harden your location, either your house or the community of collective houses.
Brad, I know you can't look into the future and know exactly what's going to happen next, but with your experience, if we think about kind of the history and going from smash and grab robberies to now more calculated high-tech targeting, what do you think is next for these criminals?
Well, I don't know. I mean, as the technology improves, then they'll probably go to it. They're also using things like fake DoorDash deliveries or fake UPS deliveries to see who will pick up packages, or if no one picks up packages and the package just stays there, then there's, that's not super high tech, but it is another tool that they can use. It's interesting you say that because I wonder how could AI play into this at some point. I have to think about that, but probably at some juncture that might also work.
We'll let you think about it, Brad, and then we'll call you back in 2 days, okay?
That's fine.
Oh, it's good to connect with ABC crime and terrorism expert. Great to chat with you, Brad. We'll chat again soon.
Thanks, Brad.
Sounds great. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy, and helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Spas! The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, cold tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
Well, no rain in sight here the next several days, taking us through at least Monday of next week. That's as far as my long-range forecast goes. 74 your high today, inland 66, closer to Lake Michigan, 49 and clear, your overnight low. Tomorrow we bump up to 84 inland, 75 near the lake, and comfortable temperatures here. Nice warm temperatures for the rest of the week. We're in the mid-70s the rest of the weekend. By the time we get to Monday, we're back to 80 degrees away from Lake Michigan. 66, and the sun is shining in Milwaukee at 2:51. Wrapping up Wisconsin's midday news here on WTMJ. Wisconsin's afternoon news is right around the corner, and we've had a lot of discussion here about OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT. So they're preparing for one of the largest IPOs ever. Or if you remember, OpenAI and its founder Sam Altman, along with Elon Musk, were duking it out in court in California. Musk is maybe a little sour that this thing is going from nonprofit to for-profit, and maybe feels like he should be cut in on those profits, having been on the ground floor of ChatGPT. Nonetheless, it is continuing, and at some point, this thing is going to go public, and it could be one of the largest IPOs ever, with a potential debut late this year.
OpenAI is about $6 billion a quarter in revenue. So, $24 billion a year figures the track that they're on, but they have a valuation as of the most recent investment that's at about $900 billion.
That is ZD net writer Ray Tiernan talking to News Nation. So a lot of investor buzz about this IPO and ultimately where it could go.
You really don't know until you work with it for months, possibly years, whether it's going to be a trusted system you're going to use. And we don't have that track record yet for these programs inside companies.
I remember when Facebook went public and it was like $25 a share. And
Did you buy?
I didn't. I was like, is this going to work? Like, this isn't... Like, how do you make money on Facebook? Like, I didn't understand the model. I didn't understand how you could monetize Facebook. Well, now there's a zillion ways to do it. But at that time, it was just this college party connection network that had spilled to the general public for people like you and me who were out of college. And now it is what it is today. But when it opened at $25 a share, I thought, I don't know if this is going to work. And certainly it has, right? The joke is on me. But this comes in at a time where you've got multi-trillion-dollar companies in the tech world, in OpenAI and ChatGPT. It's going to be thrust into the mix.
When you talk about investing, it just had me wondering now what Kohl's stock is up to at the moment, because we were telling you at the top of the show, and top 2 at 2, that Kohl's just is reporting today its best comparable sales growth in 4 years, even as a lot of shoppers are saying, okay, groceries are so expensive. This is so expensive right now. I'm going to pull back my spending on things like clothes or maybe those picture frames at Kohl's. Sales slipped less than 2% in the first quarter, but they're looking at that as like, hey, this is hope. Right now, Kohl's stock is up nearly 20% today.
Hey, that is good to see. I do wonder, you mentioned the cost of everything. It just seems to be up and up and up at a time where, people are maybe less willing to spend that disposable income because they feel like it's shrinking. But I wonder if there's a comparable story here to where Target is going and where Kohl's is going, because Target used to be kind of the one-stop shop. Well, I got to go to Target, and $150 later, you got everything you need and things that you don't need.
Especially if you go to a super Target, right? And you're getting your groceries there, too.
Exactly. But you might choose to do that clothes shopping at Target. Now I wonder if maybe people are saying, well, the Target stuff's a little pricey still. Maybe I'll go to Kohl's and find a better deal. Because the running joke, and I say it with a smile, is that if you're paying full price at Kohl's, you're doing it wrong. Right? It's kind of like Summerfest that way. There's always a sale at Kohl's.
And you got the Kohl's cash.
That too. So I'm wondering if that's just being looked at as sort of a way to sort of deal with inflation and where things are, to do more of your shopping at Kohl's, which is looked at as a bit of a deal sort of retailer.
I do say when you talk
brands,
about
too.
Target, a lot of people joke that they can't get out of there for under $100, and that's if they're buying something extra. I feel like I can't get out of Target and without spending $100, and I'm not even buying anything unique or extra. It's just kind of some of the essentials. I remember back in the day, and I think some people still call it that, but Target. It feels like, too, if you look, I think the other major change with Target lately is that they're low brands. So the generics, even those have gotten pricey.
No, absolutely right. Coming up on 2:56 here on WTMJ, we are out of time. Wisconsin's Afternoon News with John and Julia begins in about 4 minutes.
Save big on everything for your next project. Now at Menards. Keep your home neat and organized with help from Dakota. Whether you need extra storage or want to add an accent to your living space, Menards has the shelving solutions for you. Dakota shelving comes in a variety of finishes to match your style. View our entire selection of Dakota shelf boards on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer for other great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Wisconsin weather doesn't